rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledged knowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena on. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one Chief Rock and Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. Wow, look at that light. That light is blinding everybody. But what's good, everybody? Party people in the place to be. What's good? Welcome to the premiere Knicks in the Nighttime Show. Again, I'm here rocking with you for the next couple of hours. I'm here to talk that Knicks talk the way that y'all like to have that talk to y'all. Coming in off of a very, 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 very impressive victory against the scrappy Chicago Bulls. Want to give the Chicago Bulls a lot of credit for not coming into this game and laying down for a team with something to prove. So want to give the Chicago Bulls credit. The Chicago Bulls are a scrappy team. They have a nice mix of veterans and young guys looking to break out. Kobe White is impressive. Not gonna lie, Kobe White is impressive. The Patrick Williams kid is impressive. Once they start getting minutes and start getting bigger roles, I think they are going to be players on the NBA stage. Right? No doubt. Right? A lot of things tonight made okay. Before I get ahead of myself, right? Because all right. Let me move this out of the way so I can look you guys. Let me move this thing out of the way so I can look you guys in the eyes. When I saw the Knicks tonight, I saw a championship level team at times. I saw a championship level team at times. Right? Salute to the chat. Let me salute to everybody that's in here. Cowboy Bob is in the building. Jeff NYK, Jay Giant is in the building. King Embert was good. Carmega. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights is in the building. Who else we got in here? B-Baller for Real is in the building. Will Salkin is in the building. The son of the legend, Kerry Cox, is in the building. Wiz is in the building. Mets was good. I see you. The Smoking Nick is in the building. I see you. Okay. Smoke says drop the link. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link, right? I'm gonna drop the link when I finish up doing this thing. I got something I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drop the link, but I'm telling y'all rep. It's a new year. If y'all come in here and whack, I'm not even giving y'all warnings. I'm just booting y'all out off rip. Because 2024, we're not going to tell y'all background is whack. We're not getting ready to go into a third year of telling y'all to be better, and y'all just do what y'all feel like. That's to everybody, not to one person. That's to everybody. That's to everybody, right? That's to everybody. Just man, make sure y'all be straight when y'all come up here, because we've been doing this for too long. That's for everybody, not just one person. That's for everybody. And Smoke says, no, nah, come on, bro. Relax. Stop being sensitive. Come on, bro. So here's my thing. I think I saw the makings of a championship contender tonight against Chicago. I think I saw the makings of a championship contender, the makings of it. Right? And while it sounds like I'm speaking hyperbolic against a team that didn't have their best players, I'm asking you, was their best player absent? Was the Chicago Bulls' best player absent? I'm asking y'all that. Just something to think about, just real quick. Who is the Chicago Bulls' best player at the moment? Something to think about. Who is the Chicago Bulls' best player? Right? Is it Zach LaVine? Is it Alex Caruso? Is it DeMar DeRozan? Is it Vucevic? Is it Kobe White? Because if you say a name outside of Zach LaVine, most of those guys played tonight. Most of those guys played tonight. In my mind, the emergence of Kobe White makes me question who the Chicago Bulls' best player is. If I told you the Chicago Bulls had a 6'5" athletic combo guard that can shoot the three and dunk on somebody, what's the first name that'll come to your mind? The first name that comes to my mind is Kobe White. I saw Kobe White dunk on a gaggle of New York Knicks tonight. Yes, a 6'5" athletic guard that can dunk on people. Kobe White. A 6'5" athletic guard that can shoot the three. Yes, Kobe White. Kobe White gave our defense fits tonight. Right? Kobe White gave our defense fits. And yeah, DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan had 19 points at the half and finished with 28. DeMar DeRozan was 3 of 4 from 3. Yeah. I think this is the beginning of something special, everybody. And listen, I'm not hyperbolic. Y'all remember I told y'all earlier, if you watched the earlier show, I was telling y'all, listen, this is a fans channel. This is a fans channel, right? So I'm not going to pretend like I'm an NBA insider. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a journalist. I'm not. I'm a Knicks fan, right? So I'm going to tell you how I see it. But the thing I do know is basketball. I know basketball. And in the earlier show, I asked y'all if this Jalen version of Jalen Brunson is here to stay, or is the scorer coming back? Remember that conversation, Kerry Cox, this morning? The last 3 or 2 ever since Monday, King Embert, since Monday, I had been asking if this version of Jalen Brunson, the playmaker, is what we're going to see going forward. That's what we spoke about this morning, right? Anybody here from the morning conversation? I know we have 2 shifts of Lawrence Tiers fans, right? I know we have 2 shifts of Lawrence Tiers fans, the morning crew and the night shift, and some of y'all and some of y'all check out both, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate that. Yep, Kerry Cox, you remember me saying that this morning, right? Like, I saw the mentality of Jalen, and I don't know if the other Knicks content creators are I don't know if they think like I do. I hope they don't, for their own sanity. For their own sanity, I hope they don't think as much about basketball as I do, right? But yeah, Wiz, yeah. Wiz, we spoke about that, right? Remember the Hannah Montana comparison? Well, guess what happened tonight? Tonight, Jalen Brunson had 31 points and 13 assists. 31 points and 13 assists. And the reason why I think, I'm going to say this, y'all, and it's going to sound OD, but I think Tom Thibodeau is the reason why these guys don't have more assists. Because at halftime, the light-skinned lady, the fine light-skinned chick, y'all know who I'm talking, Cassidy something, whatever her name is. Cassidy, Cassidy, whatever her name is. Cassidy, she asked Tom Thibodeau what we need to do in order, what the Knicks need to do in order to win. And he specifically said, we got to stop turning the ball over and stop trying to fit certain passes into small spaces and things of that sort. And when I heard him say that, the first thing I thought was, okay, that's the reason right there why Jalen Brunson and others don't have a lot of assists, is because Tom Thibodeau isn't involved when it comes to making assists. Right? Right? But Tibbs, away from the offense, when those guys play and pass the ball, see, the thing is, Knicks fans, you can't have it both ways. You can't say you want ball movement, right? But then question the way you move the ball. Right? Tibbs, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, or I guess you can say it, but you'll sound like an idiot, right? You can't say move the ball, right? And then, or say don't turn the ball over, and then at the same time say question the way that you move the ball. Right? It's just part of it. It's just part of it. When you buy eggs, every now and then, one of those eggs is not going to make it home. Right? You buy a dozen eggs, 2 dozen eggs, whatever, to last you the week. You get the 24 eggs, and you see one of the eggs has gone to the upper room. Right? It happens. It's a part of it. Right? You buy bread, and then you get the bread home, and you see that the half a gallon of milk that you bought may have squished it back into your bread. It happens. And what I'm saying, so ultimately what I'm saying is in order for Jalen Brunson to have 13 assists, every now and then he's going to turn the ball over. A 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio is excellent. The Knicks had 15 turnovers tonight. 15 turnovers, and they finished the game with 29 assists. Right? We can't complain about hey man, we're last in the league in assists, but we're first in the league and you know, turnover percentage. Right? It's a part of it. Car accidents happen every day. Right? Things happen. Things happen. But what I'm saying is this the Jalen Brunson thing. The Jalen Brunson thing. This might be the start of a championship run. It might be. It may be. And Quiet Money says 13 turnovers in the first half, though. Yeah. Hey, man, this is Quiet Money. This is a part of it. We gotta start, man. This is a part of it. Right? Understanding this is a new team. Turnovers and stuff with a new rotation, things like that. Listen, two of these guys didn't go to training camp with us. So there's going to be some miscommunication and some things at first. This is what happens when you do trades. When you send other guys out and bring new guys in, they have to get accustomed to playing with you. No. I'm not saying that. Nope. I'm not putting you on the spot, bro. I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm speaking to a point. I'm not putting you on the spot. You know that. Come on. I'm not putting you on a spot, big dog. Just speaking to a point of the Jalen Brunson thing. This may be the new normal. And we spoke to it earlier this morning. And if you were a part of that conversation, you are cutting edge. If you were part of that conversation this morning and help point out those things, hey, good for you for being for trusting what your eyes are seeing. Passing the ball helps open up the floor. Passing the ball helps open up the floor. It helps get more better looks for guys overall. Keith Turner is in the building. Hey, Keith Turner, I'm glad you can join us. Keith Turner is joining us via Zoom. He just had a face-to-face meeting with Vladimir Putin and Joe Biden. Keith Turner, how'd that turn out, the meeting between Joe Biden and Vladimir Putin? Did you save the world? shout out to Keith Turner. That's our guy. That's our brethren. Hey, Davis is in the building. So this thing with Jalen Brunson, we can't take it lightly, everybody. Think about this. Jalen Brunson is looking to facilitate. He was looking to facilitate. He was looking to get others involved. And while ultimately he and Randall both took more than 20 shots, that might be the new norm also until OG Anunoby gets acclimated to this offense, to this team. In my opinion, OG Anunoby played an excellent game tonight. And I know he only took 9 shots, and he one of the shots he missed, it was like a bunny, but OG Anunoby is giving us exactly what we thought we were getting. A low usage, high energy defender that impacts the game without having the basketball. That's exactly what we thought we were getting. I want to point out one other thing before I put the link in the chat. I got a bunch of stuff that I want to talk about, right? But I don't want to hold everybody hostage because I know a lot of people have something that they want to say, right? But I got a couple things. Julius Randle with that second unit was whack. Julius Randle with that second unit was whack. Their starters obliterated whatever that was that Tibbs was trying. And you could tell Tibbs was just searching for something. He tried it. It didn't work. He went away from it and never went back to it against that team. Julius Randle with that second unit looked terrible. Chicago has a bunch of guys that are fringe starters, fringe rotation players. And when you put them in on the floor with the Knicks fringe rotation players, they ate us up like Pac-Man. But as soon as you got back to the normal Knicks rotation, we high-stepped on them. We stretched on them. And that has nothing to do with Zach LaVine being there or not. Because in my mind, Zach LaVine is not a guy that carries a franchise. Would I mind him being a Knick? Absolutely, because we already have dudes that can carry a franchise. Right? So don't get it twisted. I'm not saying I wouldn't mind having Zach. I'm just saying Zach is not impactful like Jalen Brunson. Zach is not impactful by himself like Julius Randle is. And one other thing I wanted to point out before we put the link in the chat and have everybody come up and talk about what they saw. Quentin Grimes looks mighty confident. Quiet money. You can't call Quentin Grimes a ham sandwich no more. He's actually Quentin Grimes dribbled the basketball tonight and between his legs, and he looked the sauce up a couple of times. It was impressive to me. I really like Quentin Grimes' confidence. Now, tonight wasn't his best night, right? If you go by plus minus, he was the worst Knick that played tonight. If you go by plus minus, right? I don't like the plus minus thing because it's not fair. It's not fair. But I liked Quentin Grimes' confidence tonight. He played 18 minutes, right? He played alongside Josh Hart, who, in my opinion, was the worst Knick tonight. Deuce McBride still looks shaky. Precious Achiuwa is trying to figure it out. But yeah. Yeah. Julius Randle. Man. I'm going to look at Julius Randle's game log just really quick for the last since December. Julius Randle, everybody, is averaging. Julius Randle this month is averaging 37 points a game this month. This month, Julius Randle is averaging 37 points a game. And last month, he was averaging 27.6. Julius Randle is balling, everybody. I'm looking at his game log. The only bad game, so there were two bad games. The Brooklyn game, he was 9 of 20. And the Indiana game last week, he was 9 of 22. Outside of that, Julius Randle, rock star. All right. Bim. So our next game is against, I think it's Washington, but I'm going to check the schedule just to see. The Knicks' next opponent is at Philadelphia. At Philadelphia Friday, at Washington Saturday, and then next week. Yeah. Justo.
Salute.
Salute.
What's good, fellas?
I was watching this game from beginning to end and all night. Let's just say that first half, especially the second quarter, infuriated me with how butterfingered the team was.
He has a lot of turnovers. A lot of really bad turnovers. Like just simple stuff. Just simple bad passes and like poor like communication.
So what's good?
I'm not gonna lie. Josh Hart looked like he plays on a JV high school basketball team and he's on the bench. Because he like literally DeMar DeRozan was like, give me Hart. And we're just giving him buckets. And it was like I was trying to figure out what do you do? Because I get that there's times that he has these moments where he can hit a big three, but I'm like, you're getting paid to do like a lot more than that. The way you're getting paid should be a lot more than that. I also want to give a shout out to Hartenstein. He's balling.
Let's talk about the Josh Hart thing first, though.
Oh,
Instead of talking about multiple topics at once. So what was it outside of his defense? What was it about Hart that makes you think that has you? Is it okay? Let me ask this: Is it that this matchup against DeRozan that was a mismatch, or do you think this is what Josh Hart is?
No, I think this is what it is. I feel like this is what he is because I feel like most times every time it's like a really great guard who can score, they usually get Hart and they just score over him easily because he came to the team. The whole thought process was he'll be this great defender, which he's not really known for. He's kind of being known as like this kind of like low-end Swiss Army knife guy. But like I think Freeze, I think you said it about RJ. He's a guy who was like not great at one particular thing. So you kind of rely on him just to kind of like do something. Like probably like a little bit of everything, but there's not nothing that he's great at. But the issue with Hart is that there's nothing I'm looking for him to do offensively or defensively, or I'm like, oh yeah, you're gonna affect the game this way. Because when I see OG make deflections, when I see him make them those like defensive decisions, I can see how he makes the game difficult. I don't really get to see a lot with Josh Hart.
Right.
Agreed.
Okay. Smoke, what's good, bro?
I'm doing good. Some bull crap in the background, but oh no, it's good. I'm doing well. I like what I saw from the squad tonight. You feel me? A lot of things I didn't like, but you feel me? You know what I like.
Well, here's let me ask this. Because I don't want it to be nebulous. I want it to be direct, straight to the point with it.
All right.
The things that you saw, are these things easily correctable things? You know, new guys trying to figure out how to play with each other, or are these straight up character flaws that can't be corrected?
No, there were minor adjustable things that can easily be corrected.
Right.
Honestly, I see that the ball was moving a lot faster. The offense was moving a lot quicker. And you might think, so and so is slowing the offensive down, but if he's drawing people's attention and then kicking the ball out to the open person and not just being, selfish in that way, then it's actually open up the floor. The floor is a lot more wider, so a lot of people get a lot of more opportunities. And we were shooting a lot of threes too. So and then you getting into dudes that's actually known for making them. So you can live with you can live with that. So it was just a little bit of things that I think it was a lot of like petty turnovers, a lot of like just miscommunications or just overzealousness over, a lot of just extra energy into a lot of those passes, the Josh Hart pass, the Randall pass, the DiVincenzo pass. Yeah.
I've never seen a pass that bad since
Yeah,
I've been watching NBA basketball, bro.
Sometimes you think it in your mind and then you try to do it and your body just won't cooperate. It happens. But but it was a lot of things that I did like, man. Our best player came up and showed out as normal, as usual. I'm used to this. So stuff like that. Like I feel like now that they've acquiesced to the fact that like let Brunson go back and forth and everybody get to eat what they kill. I like that. I actually like it because we're not trying to force or forcefully integrate nobody into the rotation or not even into the rotation to be something that they truly not. You know what I mean? Everybody can actually be the role that they're intended to be.
Okay. So all right. So what I get from that is there were mistakes made, but once they develop chemistry, you won't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you said you seen championship pedigree tonight. You feel what I'm saying?
I know.
And I kind of think what you meant, and I'm not gonna tell you what you meant. I'm just telling you how I interpreted it, was that you seen that they was kind of struggling with the turnovers in the first half, but once they realized, let's just stick to the game plan and just keep punching them in the mouth, keep punching them in the nose, it's gonna get a little sore and they're gonna start flinching. And once
that's not what I saw. That's not what I saw.
All right.
All right. So I'll tell you what I saw. No, hear me out. Hear me out on it. I saw 3 people see the right play and 2 people didn't. And so we were off the page a little bit, right? But once the 3 people went to those 2 people and say, hey, this is what I saw, and all 5 of them corrected it, you saw them get better. That's what I'm saying, right? It's like Smoke. You ever had like somebody new come to the job, and you had to train them? You know what I'm saying? And they doing it how they used to do it on their old job, and you like, nah, we don't do it like that here. And then they be like, well, on my old job, I used to do, and you be like, well, your old job fired you. You know what I'm saying? Why you gonna bring them? Why you gonna bring them? The old habits here? You feel me? That's what I think it's like, right? Like,
no, I understand. I hear you.
Yeah. So I'm what I'm thinking is the winning play was one thing, another guy may have saw something else. And when they tried to execute it, it looked like they were off. They were not on the same page.
No, but
They went in the locker
Vince,
room. They went in the locker room, came back out on the same page.
yes, and that's exactly what, and that's what I thought you meant when I said that when you seen the championship pedigree, because they look a little off kilter. It wasn't much because they kind of started the first like 3, 4, 5 minutes of the game in a stretch, but then they tried to they go away from what was actually working. And I get sometimes Julius Randle gets overzealous, think he in takeover mode, so he's looking for his stuff. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He was definitely looking for other people, because if I stand corrected, he could have went up for that first layup, but he passed it to the corner looking for his teammate. So it's not like he's not team oriented or not putting himself out there to help other people be successful.
Right.
So I just thought like they was just trying to pass it a little too much. You know what I mean?
Right.
And sometimes when you got that open shot, that extra pass is not. There is a such thing as too much passing and turning down a bad shot or even a good shot, or not a bad shot, a great shot or even a good shot. Sometimes you got to pull it.
You know what I saw? I'm gonna tell you what I saw. First, a turn, Randall going to the rim and OG Anunoby on his hip, right? OG Anunoby goes to Randall, right? The next time Randall puts it on the floor, OG crashes from the opposite side where he's in Randall's vision, right? And so what that does is now one guy doesn't guard two people, right? Now Randall's guy has to guard Randall, and another guy has to guard OG, right? But if a third person collapses to double team or cut off Randall or the OG drive, you leaving a wide open three at the top of the key by Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The little things, in-game adjustments. See, but OG Anunoby didn't know that Randall is not a elite passer with somebody in his space. Randall is a cross-court floor passer, right? He has to pass the ball away from him, right? You don't usually see Randall with wraparound. Occasionally, you'll see Randall with a wraparound pass or something like that. The little adjustments. They go into halftime, bro, and they make the adjustment. And chat, this is the reason why I say get your cards ready to start buying championship stuff. The Knicks came out in the third quarter, and they were not flat. Yo,
Yeah, man.
That's true.
the
That's
Knicks came
true.
out in the third quarter, and they were not flat. And if you're a Knicks fan, and you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't watch games. Because what we have grown accustomed to is Knicks fans, as fans, what we're accustomed to is the Knicks going in at halftime
And coming
and
out
then
like
coming out.
What the fuck was that, buddy?
Salute.
Yo.
right.
What up, Freezy? What up, Mets? What up, Justo? What up, Smoking Nick?
As I was
Salute.
Dre just busted the door, interrupted my thing. I was about to go on a rampage just now.
I ain't waved the
What's good,
4-4.
bro?
I ain't waved the 4-4 yet.
Oh, you ain't kicking the door.
Basically,
Yeah, I got
You should have finished. You should have finished first.
Yeah.
Finish.
Hey,
Go ahead.
So
You was cooking.
yeah, Mets.
what essentially what Breezy was going to say is, as
Let
Nick,
me. I can say what I can speak for myself.
okay,
Guys, say what you want to say.
I mean, I agree with what Freezy was going to say. That essentially, as Knicks fans, we're accustomed to this team getting off to a hot start one quarter or half, and then the next they come out like a bunch of Reggie Gigas, afflicted with slow start.
Right. Yeah. And so yeah, in theory, yeah. Well, what I'm saying is you saw a team in the first half still trying to figure it out after a trade. This is going to happen. Knicks fans, this is what's going to happen after every trade. Every time you
Was that
switch
a
up personnel.
Pokemon reference? My bad,
Yes.
Freezy.
Of course it is.
I had to think about it. My bad. Go ahead, Freezy. My fault.
Yeah. So well, never mind. I lost it.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
I,
Nah, go ahead, bro.
my bad, Freezy. I was gonna mention. I think the reason why you're not getting out to slow starts is the starting lineup is very, very good. The starting lineup itself, like even when we started the game, well, the only reason we really lost the lead is because we went to the bench and then it got out of hand.
Yep.
Like the starting unit, the five that we come out with, Dante, Jalen, Randall playing at this high end level. Randall's playing at a top 15, top 10 type level right now.
OG.
And Hartenstein, you got to give credit to Hartenstein.
Yeah.
Freezy. Hartenstein had 20 rebounds on arguably this generation's best rebounder.
Yeah. Yeah.
20 on his head.
Yep.
And 5 blocks.
Yeah.
he
And
might
10
be playing
10
himself
points.
out of here.
Drumming.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he like that starting unit is very, very good.
Dre,
Yeah.
who our best player though?
It can't be a tie.
Nah, ain't no such thing, bro.
Brunson dropped 33 and 12 today.
That's
Randall
good for
dropped
him, bro.
35
Answer the
and
question.
6 and
Stop
5.
deflecting. Stop deflecting.
I think they're on the
Stop
same ground.
deflecting. You do this every time. We go through this every single time. Stop deflecting. Hey,
Why
Freezy, didn't you?
why
No,
But I
hold on,
literally
Freezy. Don't
answered.
don't do it. No, Freezy,
I
leave him
answered.
alone. Don't
I'm
play
not
protector.
don't put me in that because
Don't play Ungbach. Let him live. Right? He a grown man. Didn't you say that before?
I
He
gave
can
you my
speak for
answer.
himself.
I mean,
think
Answer
that
the
on the-
question.
I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. Ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do.
Mm,
I'm gonna do. I'm too old for that. I already been through too much in my life, bro. Ain't no man gonna tell me what to do. Period, bro. And I'm sorry if that sounds disrespectful.
No, I don't because I'm the same. I'm similar in the same way.
Same
So
way,
I
right.
get.
So you feel me, right?
I do
Right.
feel you. I do feel you.
Right.
I'm
So,
not
but,
telling you what to do, but don't save this man. Let me cook him.
You're not cooking me. I
what's
think they're on the same level.
What's the point though? What we getting?
The point is he deflected. He won't answer the question directly, man. That's the
I just
point.
answered it,
Well,
brother. I just
on,
said
Drake.
they're on the
Hold on,
same
Drake.
level. I
Hold on,
answered.
Drake. So what if he deflecting? What's the point? What are we getting out of it though?
He
I just
wants
want
me
him
to
to.
admit that Randall's the best player on the team.
Yeah,
And I'm
because
saying they're him and Brunson are on the same level.
Yeah, I
to
think
me.
it's actually personally, I just think it's a level of petty that audiences don't really want to see. You know what I'm saying? Instead of us talking
I
about,
disagree, but okay.
yeah, hey man, listen, this channel got 3,500 subscribers. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about, bro. What we want to hear is the intellect from the smoking Nick. That's what a lot of people want to hear. They want to hear the smoking Nick getting his bag, right? But the other stuff, man, whatever it is, if Dre don't agree with you, so what? If you don't agree with Dre, so what? If I don't agree with Mets, so what? If Justo don't agree with me, so what? Ain't no trophies given out. But what I'd like to hear though is the smoking Nick getting his bag. I think that's the best version of Smoke in his bag, talking that Knicks talk the way that Knicks fans like to have that talk to them. Period. Right? That's what I like. Now, do I have to get it? No. Right? I mean, you don't have to give me what I want, but I would love to see the smoking Nick talk about the evolution of this version of the Knicks versus the version of the Knicks with RJ Barrett. Right? Smoke do you see a clear transition or do you feel like Jalen Brunson and Randall stepped their game up despite OG Anunoby being here?
I think, and to be honest with you, I think RJ was always holding those two players back. He was firstly holding Randall back. Obviously, I'm already on record saying that. And obviously, now you get a little more space because you don't have the third person that needs to pound. We had three dudes that pound the basketball that was left-handers, right?
Right.
So, and they starters. So, and they all got similar games, right? They don't play like each other because two of them could shoot, got mid ranges, and can get to the basket. Then one is super inconsistent. So, you know what I mean? It was a dynamic to where once we got Brunson, it made it easier to let RJ go and cut the umbilical cord. You feel me? It made it easier because it's like we need people to fit in with what these other players do. So when you watch their games, they need shooters around them. That's why we got a lot of shooters now.
Okay. So is it because here's the thing. I have a thought, right? And I've expressed my thought now I have like 14 YouTube hours of thoughts on OG Anunoby, right? That's a lot, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I'm interested in seeing or hearing what the Smoking Nick thinks about this long term. Like, bro, do you think
What you mean what you mean like
I'm good?
how like ultimately how it would turn out for us? Like you want me to speculate and give you my like synopsis?
No, I'm going to ask you a specific question.
All right.
I'm going to ask you a specific question, right? Does what OG Anunoby give or what OG Anunoby gives us, i.e. the Knicks, gonna help the Knicks elevate to a championship level? Just OG Anunoby, not in another trade. I think that's another topic that we could talk to eventually. But does what OG Anunoby does, his offensive IQ and his defensive IQ elevate the team to
Yeah, that's
championship
crazy.
contention?
Right.
Well, honestly, yes, because a lot of missed assignments won't have to cover for him. He'll be covering for other people. And even if it's not this year, when you fit a dude like that with Mitchell Robinson, now you got two dudes that could cover on the perimeter and cover at the rim. And I heard somebody say he could cover 1-4, but I think I seen him covering Karl Anthony Towns, and he plays 5 sometimes. So I'm gonna
He's soft though.
consider that 1-5, right?
Cat soft.
I don't
Cat
care what he
soft.
is. He's 7 foot tall, right? He been
Yeah.
blessed by Zeus, right? So
Right.
he good, right? So if I'm
Yeah,
watching
he is.
somebody 6'7" guard somebody 7'1" or 7 feet, I respect that because now I know that you could guard 1-5. Boom. So even if he don't score a lot of points, that's not what he here for, right? He here to be a tough nosed defender, and I would say like Bruce Bowen, be a tough nosed defender, hit that corner three when it matters most, make timely shots. And so when it comes to ultimately us heading towards a championship, do I think he contributes to that? Yes, I do, 100%. I think this was a good move because I really didn't like Quickly's playmaking like that, and he disappears at the most important times as well as RJ. So I wasn't super sad about losing them as some other people maybe.
Okay. And so is it just the in your face defense, or is it his basketball
Well,
basketball intelligence
you,
or
you gotta have on ball defense, Freeze, right? But then you gotta
uh
have
but hold,
then
hold
you,
let me answer that question unless was that question rhetorical or you
no, it
just
wasn't rhetorical because I actually want to answer that because
well let me answer your question the
I
question that
respect defense. I respect dudes that like to play defense.
because but there are different types of defense that you can play, right?
Yeah,
You can have the on ball dog that doesn't necessarily impact team defense, right? You know the type. the Ludor
But
type.
if he's slowing down your best scorer, he still is contributing to. He don't got to get the steals, but if he's stopping you and forcing the dude to pass it all the time, that's still defense.
I mean, yeah, I never said it wasn't defense.
No, I'm just saying. I'm elaborating.
Yeah, right. But then there is the impactful on-ball guy that can shut down an area, right? Not the whole court. No one man is going to shut down the whole court, right? But then there's the guy that you can't even have the basketball in his area unless you know something's. He's going to disrupt a certain part of defense on the floor.
What I've
I'll
noticed.
give an example, and an example of it is Rudy Gobert disrupts everything at the opposing team's rim, right?
Freezy. First game, he guarding Cat.
I know we watched.
He guarding Cat and what's dude Anthony Edwards. The first game with us, he guarding the two best players supposedly on the team, back to back. He fouled out. He guarding the two best players, the 7-footer and the dude his size, causing them to turn the ball over. I know I seen Cat throw his hands up like he was frustrated when he flopped.
If you're saying all of that, then why would you say hard-nosed defender? This is why I asked you the specific question. Is it his defense on? Okay.
Is that not hard-nosed though?
No, but see, earlier you just said something to Dre about why can't be both? Why you deflect?
No, I asked Dre who was the best player on the team specifically. I wasn't talking about defender.
But there were options, though, right? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking you. And seriously, because I want to go.
You're funny though. I know you right.
No, I'm asking because I want to either go in one direction or the other with the defense or the basketball IQ. So if you say it's his dogged on-ball defense, I want to stay in that lane and talk to you about that. But if you're talking about his defensive IQ, I want to talk about that specifically because
defensive IQ is effort though. I think when you got the effort, see, defensive IQ start with willingness, right? He's willing to put his body on the line to
defensive
help
IQ is about thinking the game.
So of course,
this is why I disagree because you said effort. Josh Hart.
Hold on. Defense. Hold on. You think defense is just being tall, or it's not being willing?
You said effort. Like, if
hold
you're
on,
applying effort,
hold on, Dre. You got to stop. You think who shows effort if you're not willing to show effort? You got to be willing.
Josh Hart shows effort all the time, but he's not the defender OG is. Period, for a reason.
But he's still willing, so he's a good defender, right or wrong?
Not tonight.
Nah, Josh Hart ain't a good defender.
It's terrible tonight.
Well, so this revisionist history, so we just going off tonight?
Nah, you going off his reputation.
He's
never been a really good defender. You going off reputation. I'm telling you right now, he's not a good defender. He's a willing defender, but he's not good.
Yeah. But listen, I don't want to. Let me just want to speak to this one thing about what Smoke is saying because I feel like he is right on the defense part, but I just wanted him to elaborate on the difference between thinking defensively, the defensive IQ, right? Instead of trying to shut down every angle, the defensive IQ, like turning that man so you can get in his perceived passing angle, staying in his vision so that you can lock him down there and prevent him from having a place to pass the basketball. I think there is thinking basketball, one thing, being a smart defender and being a hard-nosed defender. I think we value both, but I think they're separate things.
I agree, but when you got some cerebral players, like let's take a Draymond Green. Draymond Green, like 6'7", right? But for there was a span of 4 or 5 years where he was one of the best defenders in the league because he could anticipate what people were doing. I don't know what tape he was watching.
Defensive
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know what ayahuasca he was taking. I don't know what he was on, right? I don't know. I'm just saying. there was a point in time where he could anticipate and know what everybody was up to, and he was one step ahead of them. That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of player we got. It's not like we trying to get him. And you know what made Draymond even better? He could play make. He didn't just have that anticipatory skills on defense. He had it on offense as well.
You
So,
talking about defensive play make or offensive play make?
Well, offensive play make as well. You feel what I'm saying? Because he would make a play on deep. He blocked a lot of dudes. When I think they went 73, they beat the.
You're talking about turning defense into offense. Is what you're saying?
I'm talking about holistically, just having a defensive IQ where you so good at defense that it turns into easy offense.
That's what I just said.
Yes.
Turning defense into offense.
Yes.
Yeah.
It turns into yes. So I think with us having a player that can clog the lane, long arms, willing, and not just willing, able to stay in front of people. If he get beat, he can still stay on the side of you. It's long enough so he got the catch-up speed. It's IQ and ability. You know what I mean?
That's what I asked you 12 minutes ago.
I'm explaining it in a long way.
My bad. Hey man, I got EG 14,000 backstage. I'm gonna bring him up so I can troll him. Hey
What's
man,
up? Can you hear me?
Man. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, man. How you been, bro? Why you been dodging us on social media?
I haven't been dodging anybody. I've been
That's
dodging
a lie,
anybody.
bro. That's a lie, bro.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
I was watching your chess games.
It's the Koofy, Freezy. It's the Koofy.
Yeah, that's what what it is. I think he was dodging us because he was wrong about Hartenstein.
No, I'm right about Hartenstein. He was injured early in the season. It was a bunch of bullshit. It was just, but I'm right. And you're about to see it. And you're already seeing it. You're already seeing.
Oh my God, bro! He had one good game, and then
one good game. He's leading the NBA in defensive EPM. That's estimated plus minus. It's the best.
I know.
It's the best metric right now. He's leading the entire league in defense. He's
found
literally the best defensive player in the NBA right now.
You found one random stat. And you found
5 blocks tonight.
I told you, Freezy, it's the Koofy. You can't trust the brother with a Koofy on.
Every block he made was a transition opportunity. It was every block was clean, transition opportunity, a layup on the other. Every block he made was a 2-point swing, a 4-point swing. And he had 5 blocks. So that's a 20-point swing just with his defense alone. Right? Mitch, he'll get blocks, but he'll block it out of bounds. He'll block it and it'll go out of bounds.
All Mitch's blocks don't go out of bounds, bro. Come on, man.
A lot of them do. Not a lot.
A lot of them. Where's your defensive? Where's your metric for that? For all Mitch's blocks go out of bounds.
I will.
There is no.
Who's the better offensive rebounder? EG.
Well, the thing is, when Mitch is in, he clogs the paint, so he causes more misses. So he has more opportunities to get. Is
that clogging or is that playing the traditional center role?
He's actually a better offensive rebounder because he'll open up the paint and create, like Randall shoots better at the rim when Hartenstein's in, but he'll also get the same amount of offensive rebounds because there are less misses. He'll still get the same amount of offensive rebound. So he's a better offensive rebounder in practice, in totality, right? In practicality, he's a better offensive rebounder.
You mean
in practicality?
You mean a hypothesis? That's what you meant.
No, I understand.
That's what he meant. Hypothesis. Yeah. I know what he mean. I'm keeping up.
I understand what he means. Long time no see.
A long time no see.
Hey, hold on, y'all, for a split second. Hold on, before I get to the OG. Hold on for a split second, because I got to give the OG a segment. Hold on for real quick.
Why'd you on the beat?
Yo.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yo.
Salute.
Hey,
Everybody.
hey, salute. I need a second with the OG. OG, what's good, bro?
Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to
No,
Rob.
he's talking to Rob.
Oh,
My
yo,
fault.
yo,
Rob.
what's good, baby? You know, just
Bro,
you know,
I owe you a $35 beer. When the next time we gonna meet in Atlanta?
man, look at here. We don't got to get to the Atlanta right now. I could just come to your crib and get it.
Yeah, well, they won't be $35 at my crib. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
look at here.
That'll be a
We'll just
lot of beer for $35.
hey, look, we'll just act like it costs $35.
after about 7 of them, yeah, then we will act like they are
Yeah,
$35.
we're just like, yeah, we at the Waldorf Astoria. We just came from the Knick game down in the bar, and we
Yeah.
bought a beer. It was $35.
$35. Good
That's
God.
how we do it. That's how we do it.
Yeah,
Hey,
long
hey,
time, bro.
hey, yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Hey, look, when the team playing like, up to expectations and everything is going right, it ain't really much to say, but I just be sitting back listening.
Right.
But ain't nobody get on my nerves to force me in there until today.
Who got on your nerves?
Hey, the conversation of I feel as though people are missing the point. And my brother with the kufi, he most definitely missing the point.
Yeah.
But I trust brothers with
Try to
kufi.
tell him.
Yeah.
It's not like that. But look, OG, this is what Mitch has been crying about for 3 years.
All right.
Cover your man. I don't mind picking up the back. Look, Hartenstein, I love what he's doing. But he wasn't doing that before OG got there. It's easy to do that when you have somebody that can be a wing. That's all
Right.
Mitch has been crying about for 2 years, 3 years. Cover your man, and then I'll pick up everything.
Right.
So now that he's getting it, everybody is more effective with somebody that can cover somebody. Don't you know DeRozan scored 27 points, but he didn't score a basket. Basket. Not one basket on OG.
Yeah, OG changes everything for the Knicks.
That's right.
Just imagine OG how he would have been cooking RJ. He would have been looking at him like lunchtime.
No,
Man,
Tim,
look at here.
no. Tim's would have just put Josh Hart on him because that's where he got most of his
Hey,
buckets.
look, man.
And he would have got
We
40
gotta
on Josh Hart.
Look,
And they would have switched. That's why you call it switch, because you could just get the matchup that you want.
Look, let's not
You run your
upset.
Dre. You know it's easy to run Dre. You got to stop this. It's easy to run your playoff and get the matchup that you want in the NBA. It's not very hard.
That they want is Josh Hart, though. That's the thing.
Every day.
So you saying Josh Hart was a worse defender than RJ? Is this what you're saying?
Yes, Josh Hart is a worse defender than RJ.
No way. Wait, what?
No, y'all cat. That's cat.
Crazy.
There's
Listen,
no
way Josh Hart's a worse defender than
listen.
RJ.
If you didn't research it and have a source, then don't tell me nothing.
Look,
NBA.com,
man, I got the eye test. The eye test is my source. The eye test is my source. Ain't nobody got to tell me stuff.
Hart is a better hustler.
Fail the eye test every day.
The better defender is RJ. RJ is the better defender.
RJ Barrett, NBA.com, the league's own website.
Yeah, he's the better.
RJ
better
Barrett
hustler
is a better defender than Josh Hart. We not even just because somebody act like they better, bro. I can act like I'm a rapper, bro. That don't make me a rapper. I can act like a singer.
Well, your bars would establish that, just like your game gonna establish if you're a good basketball player.
I hear whack bars all the time, and you do too.
We know we hear whack bars all the time. That don't make them rappers. They might be entertainers. You feel me? And they just happen to rap.
That's why I'm saying if you're not hitting me with a source, if you don't have something that we can look at, right? NBA.com or something that says Josh Hart is better than RJ.
That's a lot of. But I get in the reference websites. The reference websites are not as biased because they're just giving you stats and analytics.
Right.
But there's a lot of biasness in like the reports and stuff. They'll do to say something specific, and then they'll misinterpret it in a whole different dynamic, take it to a whole nother level. So we know it's a lot of
That's why I said get a source.
misinterpretation going on.
That's why I said show a source.
So the defense is 3 points per 100 possessions better with Josh Hart on the floor than RJ Barrett. That's just one source.
Is that a source?
Hold on.
Sources say, bro.
Hold on. Here's my
then you look
overarching.
at, he also has a higher defensive EPM, which is it's a plus minus that takes everything into account.
That's a team stat, right?
My man with the kufi going off tonight.
Hold on. Can I speak?
Go ahead, Dre. Go ahead, Dre. You got to dominate. We know how you is.
The thing that kind of makes it harder to judge, especially when you bring up EPM at this current juncture, is when you're taking into account EPM and like box plus minus and all those things. A lot of those minutes, especially when you're talking about who Hartenstein played with the majority of the time, who Josh Hart played with the majority of the time, they shared the majority of their minutes with Emmanuel Quickly, who's also an analytic darling.
That's true.
And when you put these guys in scenarios where they're also around guys that don't really complement their skill sets as much. So like when you mention that he's number one in defensive EPM, I can see with my eyes that he's playing defense at a very high level, but I also know that he played a lot of his minutes with the best team defender from the perimeter earlier in the season before we traded him quickly. And he's playing against second units for the majority. Now he's playing against frontline starters for the last 7-8 games, where the impact is even more noticeable, right? So I'm not going to completely dismiss the defensive EPM. I will say that he is a very impactful player. I would say like the majority
I would say to that
against
this is not a one-time thing with Hartenstein. Like he had a better net rating than Jokic on the Nuggets because of his defense. I'm just like going back to like Hartenstein's past. It's like he was playing with Bol and a 5'10" Facu Campazzo, and he had a better net rating than. That was a while ago, but this is a consistent thing over.
But he wasn't getting no minutes then,
right? Yeah, even when he was in limited minutes, he was still consistently an incredible.
But you getting 12? You judging that on 12 minutes?
So we were talking about Josh Hart's defense versus RJ Barrett's defense.
Yeah.
But I'm using that to contextualize my logic and thinking about RJ and Josh Hart.
I don't know. If I just look at like RJ Barrett's defense in general, I don't see him as a good defensive player at all. Like I don't
see either of them as good.
Really? You don't think Josh Hart is
right? No. So NBA.com for 20 games, RJ Barrett was a top 12 defender, right? And through 15 games, RJ Barrett was a top 5 defender in the NBA. And for y'all to just say that just willy-nilly out of pocket makes me think y'all are just searching for random things.
Wait, by what stat? What stat?
It's probably defensive win shares.
Defensive win shares.
Okay.
Right. So I'm using a measure of the one player and not just a guy just happened to be on the court with 4 good defenders. Don't talk to me about Jokic's defense when I know a lot of times he's on the floor with multiple great defenders.
Yeah, because Jokic is a bad defender. Everybody know that.
Right.
That's arguable, but
when he tell you he needs a bad defender, then he's a bad defender.
Right.
Well, that's a matter of opinion of how you view the game. I don't think Jokic is a bad defender, but I also feel like there are certain things that he does.
Well, the main problem with RJ for me is the fact is he was so bad offensively, where he would go in and take very bad shots, and that would lead to fast break opportunities. I think the Knicks were bottom 10 in fast break in giving up fast break points for the other team in the NBA because of RJ's bad shot selection. So if you just take that out, Now the Knicks are more in a half-court game, and now there's more opportunities for Hartenstein to get blocks and more opportunities for OJ to get steals.
Actually, you got that wrong. The Knicks are running more since.
Yeah,
RJ
they're running more, but like no, I'm talking about the other team. So the other team runs like in
more.
fast break.
The other team runs more when RJ was on the court.
Yeah, because he would
had
miss a shot,
inefficient
and
offense.
then it would just create a run out for the other team and open shots, and that was a big problem against like the Bucks and the Celtics.
That's part
like,
of it. But RJ Barrett is not the only bad. Was not the only bad shooter or the only shooter on the team.
He was the main. He was the main person, I think, because
yeah,
I think
because he was getting the bulk of the minutes. You can't go 1 for 12, and spurts like that. RJ just was like, like this, like OG had 9 shots, 12 shots, and then the things that he does, man, those dunks that he does, those cuts, those dunks, fast break dunks that he does, that's something that we wasn't getting.
Yeah.
We wasn't getting none of that.
Yeah, because when OG plays, like you can see that he kind of like when he sees the opportunity, he takes it. But with RJ, it's like he's trying to really get into his rhythm. So if you can, because there's moments you'll see that RJ can make a pass, but he's like, let me get my shot off.
And
he's overly aggressive.
If I can just reel everybody back in, the thing we were talking about is Josh Hart is a better defender than RJ Barrett.
He is,
and now this has evolved all the way into RJ Barrett's jump shot.
Yeah,
this is what. So as a person, like I don't care. I don't care what RJ Barrett don't play for the Knicks. I don't care, right? But for the sake of conversation, it shows that there is an agenda, a dislike for RJ, and a like for Josh Hart. And I know Dre and the Smoking Nick love RJ Barrett, right? I mean, love Josh Hart. My thing is, let's be truthful about what Josh Hart does. Instead of just bringing up random stuff to make one person look bad, to make the other person look better, right? Like for instance, if Hartenstein is looking good, let's say Hartenstein is looking good. We ain't got to kick Mitchell Robinson back in. The team is different, right? Like Rob the Knick said, Hartenstein is looking really good right now with OG Anunoby.
He looked good before too. Like it wasn't
really,
just
he looked
for the last 2 games. He looked 100% better.
Hold on.
And so for one, I'm just and no disrespect, but I'm telling a Denver Nugget fan, as a Knicks fan, that I watch every Knicks.
I watch every game too.
I'll say this: Hartenstein had a streak. Hartenstein had a streak of 3 blocks and 3 steals for like 5 or 6 straight games, which is like the longest streak we've ever had since Patrick Ewing.
Hey, look, let me tell you something. You know what? Look, this is what Mitch was. You remember when you was 12 years old and you and your friends go in the store and y'all kill the whole store. You tear it up. You go in there the next day and there's a cop in there and you don't steal.
Yeah.
Mitch was that cop.
Right.
You didn't just steal.
Mitch was a deterrent.
OG, that was 1980. That was 1980. We couldn't afford no cops in stores. Like,
hey, look at here. But if you
talking about what happened in 1979, 1980.
Hey, look, he didn't even have to be in uniform. You just knew he was a cop.
He because he didn't have no facial hair.
Hey,
just had a mustache.
That's what Mitch in his first 2 years.
That's what Hartenstein did to Anthony Edwards. That's what Hartenstein did to Anthony Edwards.
The league respected him.
He blocked so many shots that he scared Anthony Edwards into a travel. He intimidated him.
Because OG was.
OG was there. Hold on. I remember the travel where he dragged his pivot. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
OG forced him into that. But I will say there are multiple efforts. There was one particular shot that Hartenstein blocked where OG stifled Gobert first, and then Hartenstein came from the rear and got the all basically what we're saying at this point is OG only amplifies what Hartenstein can do right now.
I believe that.
Hartenstein is at his base level. Hartenstein is a very good defender, in my opinion. I do think reputation helps Mitch Robinson because when we go up scouting. And when teams come into the Garden and they see Mitch Robinson on the scouting report, they know, okay, he's automatically a deterrent. He's kind of like like a lockdown corner where they're like, okay, we're not even gonna bother with him, or like Gobert, where we don't even attempt.
Yeah, unless
Once
you're
once Hartenstein develops
Giannis.
that rep, yeah, once Hartenstein develops that rep around the league, then he'll be even more of a deterrent where he won't get the box score stats in terms of the
But
blocks and
you
steals
know,
because they just
what?
avoid him.
It was all an illusion. Like Mitchell Robinson's defense is an illusion because if you actually look at the rim protection stats, like teams shoot better at the rim with Mitch in, like that they than expected. They shoot better at the rim than expected with Mitch in, and that's just a fact, right?
No, they
So
don't.
no, they do. They do.
Uh-uh.
Look at the rim protection stats. He's
No,
always been
you look it up
overrated in
right
terms
now.
of
You
rim protection.
prove what you
Right?
just said.
Wait, I can.
Well,
I can
he'll
send
he'll
you
get
links.
he'll get
I can send
advanced
you
analytics.
links. I can send you links to the stats. Like,
Well, I'll say this to the earlier points. Earlier in Mitch's career, the advanced analytics favored his rim protection even more because he actually got the counting stats in terms of blocks, but he
well,
would
he
get
would
in
get
way
like in
more
foul
foul.
trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, he would get in way more foul trouble. He would get way more fouls. He would get the counting stats. And whereas I think right now, in my opinion, just watching the game, this is where the eye test and the advanced analytics don't always line up. In my opinion, I think he's a better rim protector now. I'll say this. I'll say this to your point, EG. I think he had better he had better opportunities with the defenders in front of him in prior years. Our perimeter defenders this year before OG got here were trash. Outside of quickly,
Yeah,
all of them were
that's
trash.
why I really know Josh Hart's a better defensive player than RJ Barrett. Is because when they traded for Josh Hart initial, like it was night and day. Like we went on that really long. The Knicks went on that really long winning streak.
Josh Hart was hitting the
The
three
moment they traded
at
for
what,
Josh
at
Hart, because
50%?
of his defense,
No,
because of
but
his
he was
impact
hitting
on
the
the game.
three at
Yeah,
50%
he was.
too.
Yeah, he was
He
hitting
was
the
he was
three.
extremely
He was good at every aspect of the
outrageously
game.
efficient. Like he was extremely and outrageously efficient. And I'll say this: this is the nuance that advanced analytics don't account for. Regardless of context, Tom Thibodeau teams always finish the year strong. So even if Josh Hart wasn't on that team, we would have made the playoffs. Now, would we have won a round? That's where you can say maybe not, probably not without Josh Hart. Absolutely right.
Right.
But when we talk about the nuance of the game and how we view the game and historically, every year at the end of February, March, April, every Tom Thibodeau team starts to win even more. Like even when we missed the playoffs, we started
Yeah.
winning way more games towards the end of the year when we were supposed to be tanking in the first place.
Yeah, I want to ask a quick question because I noticed something today. Because I remember yesterday, Freezy brought it up about Brunson. I think he had like his career high in assists,
Yeah.
and was asking if that's like an anomaly. Because I noticed today, like Brunson was really trying to like. Cause I could tell he's trying, but I think he's just not able to get all these passes off because it was a lot of turnovers and a lot of just throwing it right to the other team. Do you guys think that like we need to make a trade for that person, or do you think maybe they need to kind of find another way to move the ball without having it be just directly go through Brunson?
Well, it's
In
nice
the
because
You gotta
second
figure out
half,
the
the Knicks
chemistry
had
Hold
too.
on, hold on, hold on. Let EJ
The
give his
chemistry
point.
has to gel
it's
again.
nice because Brunson can actually play point guard now. Like before, he was playing point guard, but like the ball was in RJ Barrett's hands, and RJ Barrett would go in and do what he does. Um, and like now he can actually be the leader of the team. Like he's the number one option as the point guard, right? There's no like number two player that's taking all these shots. So like yeah, it's going to be like an adjustment period, like in any trade. But he can play point guard now. That's why his assists are now at a sky high, because he's actually getting the opportunity to be the player he always was meant to be, without
And
having to share the ball with a ball dominant guard in RJ Barrett.
Hartenstein also factors into that equation in terms of spacing. Whereas you might not, the average player might think of spacing in terms of just 3-point shooting, but
Passing,
but
passing is spacing.
passing and gravity from that also equates. And
and
I think yeah,
cutting.
well, partially yeah, because you can't cut if Mitchell Robinson is always in a dunker spot. So,
No, well, look, but
Well,
you can move out that spot if you know somebody is willing to cut.
but this is my point. Like when Mitchell Robinson, for better or worse, Mitchell Robinson's man would either be connected at the hip with Mitch Robinson in terms of trying to keep him off the glass, and by proxy, he would be right at the rim, so that would deter cutters. Like, and to be honest, Hartenstein is usually around the perimeter setting screens for Brunson, or he'll catch it in the short roll and be a decision maker.
But
Like
he's getting more offensive rebounds now for the simple fact that he's more closer to the rim.
Who?
Hartenstein, he got 20 boards today.
Because
Yeah.
OG and Nobi does a good job of probing.
getting no 20
Probes
boards.
probes the floor really good.
It's going back to a player that wasn't there with Mitch. Everything that everybody is talking about is going to resort back to OG. And Mitch, you haven't had a chance to play with OG, but we're judging Mitch and Hardenstein, who got to play with OG and Mitch didn't. We probably need to leave that scenario alone until they get to play together.
I'll say, but there's a little bit more than that. Like Hartenstein has been very good for a minute before OG got here.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
not like
it's not-
Hartenstein's been
it's-
good for 2 games and that's it. Like
Mitch was on the way to being on the all defensive team this year.
and he
Do
was.
we
You
agree
know what
with
it
that?
was? Mitch was getting all
Do
the
we
credit for
wait? Do
Hartenstein's
we
work.
agree with that?
He was getting all the credit.
All right.
for
Can you
Hartenstein's
answer
impact.
that question?
The
I
defense was better with
understand that.
Hartenstein on the floor.
All right. Can you
consistent.
answer the question? Was Mitch on the way to being on the all defensive team this year?
He was actually having a down year if you look at his rim protection numbers.
Yes, he was.
Thank you.
And it was weird because like
No,
they
no,
would
no,
just
no,
walk
no,
past
you-
him. They would
you
walk
capping,
past him
you
and get a layup.
capping.
They would walk
You cap
past him
because
and
you're
get
a
a layup.
Hartenstein
You would
Because
just
the
forget. You would
guards
just ignore
couldn't
all
do.
the time.
The
Right?
guards wasn't. You just said it yourself.
Yeah,
but
You said
this
it
is
yourself.
this is the thing where I push back. Hartenstein played the majority of his minutes up until the last 8 games against second units, and second units aren't as potent offensively. This is just reality of the situation. And Mitchell Robinson was basically put in a scenario where he was around 3 negative defenders in the starting lineup for the majority of the season. So it's hard to hold up. Like if
Yeah, but
Hartenstein was starting against starting units
his
with
rim
RJ
protection
Barrett,
didn't like his rim protection wasn't actually good. Like it. Let me see if I can find the stats to show you. But like, his
but
rim protection wasn't good.
historically, it's always been good. I think this year,
No, it hasn't. Historically, it hasn't always been good. Historically, he's always been overrated. As a rim
Because he never had good. He never had a wing. Every time you see Mitch Robinson, he's arguing about coverage.
like, but Hartenstein hasn't played with wings either. He played with freaking
And he
this is
hasn't had
Luke
a.
Kennard
And
with
he,
the Clippers.
and
Do you know how bad of a defensive
but he,
wing Luke Kennard
but
is? As
he was
like,
only
and
playing 12, 13 minutes a game.
no, he played a lot with the Clippers. He played quite a bit of minutes.
No, what's quite a bit? What's quite a bit to you?
1,200 minutes.
Mitch is better than
For the
Hartenstein.
season?
For the season.
Would that equal a game?
Point blank, period.
About 20 minutes.
Hartenstein played.
He's been playing about.
Hartenstein played 18 minutes a game.
Yeah, and now that he's getting more minutes, he literally put up 5 blocks today, man. Like that's not
he's
normal.
good. I'm not about to
That's not
dismiss
normal.
the
And
fact that
you
he's
can
very
give OG all the credit you want, and OG helps, but at the end of the day, like it's Hartenstein. It's Hartenstein.
He doesn't do without his motor.
So
I'll
what,
say that
what
his motor
happens
is
when next season
ridiculous.
come and Mitch return?
I don't think Mitch is going to play for the Knicks again. I don't think he's going to play for the Knicks again. I think Hartenstein is going to take the spot, and I think it's just a matter of time. No, I honestly think it's just a matter of time. It's because we're only seeing one part of his game. We haven't seen his passing yet, and he has an amazing floater that seems to have disappeared from his game, but it's still there. Like he still has a skill set to make that shot. So
Tibbs puts a cap on what he can actually do because Tibbs makes him play like Mitch Robinson, unfortunately. Or he attempts to make him play. Like the fact that he actually has a jumper and I don't think he's taken a 3 this year. I think he's taken 1 3 this entire season. And that's more of a coaching thing. I think Hartenstein is a very good basketball player, and I do think there's more to his game that hasn't been unraveled or seen. Because to be absolutely honest, our bigs are used as screeners.
Right.
They're not really used as short rollers or decision makers. Because in Tibbs's mind, Tibbs idealizes his center as rim protection only, and rim protection second, and rim protection third. Now, when we talk about the other parts where he helps us, I think we're missing the fact that like when Hartenstein gets the ball, either for steal or for rebound, his outlets are actually impactful in terms of our fast break offense.
Right.
So that
Easy
helps
point.
us. That helps us in our offensive net rating. So I'll say if Hartenstein can like in the nuance is like on paper or the statistics say he's better. I'm
Yeah.
being absolutely real.
And when the eye test says he's better too.
Well, that's
Have you seen
that's
the last
personal
game?
bias. That's
Have you seen the
personal
last
bias.
2 games? Like you can give all the credit.
Oh my
You can give all
god.
the credit to OG, all you want.
But you'll say
You'll give
those are
5
his two
blocks.
best
You'll give
games.
3 blocks. They were all clean. They were all clean blocks.
His
No
two best
fouls.
games of the season do coincide with OG coming.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because
So
OG
like
helped. It's the same thing with like Marc Gasol, where he had Tony Allen, he had Mike Conley, great perimeter defensive
all he
players,
needs
made
all he
him into a defensive player of the year like player,
all
right? But
you
he
all
was
you
still
need
that player,
all
right?
you need for a good defender or a high level defender, if you're a big, all you need is just a quarter second for your perimeter defenders to just stifle and give you the ground so you have enough time to like gain ground and close the distance. But I don't think he. This is where I'm being the nuance for me. Like Mitch never had that
He
opportunity.
never had that wing defensive player.
No,
So and
no.
we'll see that when he's on a different team because he's going to be on a different team. What?
Oh, I guess Hartenstein is going to get a 4-year, $90 million deal.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
whoa. No, he's going to sign like a 1-year deal or something.
I actually do think if they bring him back, they're going to try. Like historically, from the Knicks organization, when they sign players, they don't really outside of the first 2 years when they weren't really trying to compete. They try to lock a guy in on a team friendly deal for multiple years or several years, 3 or 4, right?
Yeah.
It's the reason why Fournier's here for 3 years and whatever, and Josh Hart is here for 4 years, and I hate that contract.
Well, it's going to be strange because the Knicks are going to win the championship this year, right? You do realize that, right?
Well, Freezy's
hope
been
so.
saying this since the OG
No,
trade.
it's like
Relax.
Mitch
Relax.
going down. Mitch going down
The birthday cake, bro,
this early.
got us on Mars, bro.
It
what I'm saying?
allows Hartenstein to actually build chemistry with Randall, with Brunson, and now as they build chemistry, like the back cuts will start to work. Like you can already see, like at the first couple games, like he would try to make a pass and it would like go out of bounds because you have to. It takes time to build chemistry like that. And now that they have time to
Maybe
build
he's
that,
just not an accurate passer.
okay, yeah. Now they have time to build that chemistry. It's just going to be wild. It's going to be wild. You're going to see some special games for the Knicks.
This sounds Trumpian to me.
Freezy, there were a few times where Randall didn't cut, like you mentioned, because he wasn't like cutting with intention.
Yeah.
And Hartenstein was like, "Yo, just keep going. I'll get you. I promise." And maybe it's one of those things where chemistry is needed. But hey, look, man. You're not winning the championship if Josh Hart playing 30 minutes a game for you. So,
well, he's probably not going to play. It's probably just going to be all the starters are going to play the vast majority of the minutes, especially in the playoffs.
Like you're going to blow, man. Like if you're relying on Josh Hart to give, like as
I
right now, Josh Hart
realize
plays
Josh
30
Hart
minutes a
was
game.
like such a hated player here. Like the team plays better with Josh Hart on the floor. Just generally,
it's the value.
The team played better with Quickly on the floor.
It's Josh Hart.
No.
It was Quickly with Josh Hart.
Again, we're not gonna do the fake make believe stats, bro. We gotta have some stuff. We gotta look at things that are accurate.
And the reason I have a gripe with Josh Hart, it's not that he's a completely terrible basketball player, even though I don't like his style. It's the cost to production that I don't favor. Like we gave up a first rounder for him, and we gave him 4 years, $80 million. Right. I would literally take Christian Brown over him if we're talking about cost to value, like cost to what he actually does or provide. Because if you look at Josh Hart's skill set, it's not really complementary to Brunson or Randall.
Well, he's a connector, right?
He's a connector, but this is the thing: Hartenstein can be that connector without being a poor spacer or a poor passer or a poor defender.
And honestly, to be honest with you, Dre, if we get the version of Hartenstein that EG 14,000 is talking about, I would rather have given that money to him than to giving it to Josh Hart, right? And so
you can always trade Josh Hart.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't, bro. You can't. The Nova thing is a thing. Like Jalen Brunson's the stuff is
Word, Dante DiVincenzo and
this
Josh Hart.
This is a thing, bro.
Ryan Arcidiakono.
That's why
I
they're here.
could probably get a couple baskets on Ryan Arcidiakono.
Right. And here's the thing: how we know it's a thing, right? And when we did the trade, instead of the Knicks keeping a wing player, they cut a wing player and kept a backup point guard that will never play.
Exactly.
Right.
Is Ryan a point guard?
He's not an
He's
NBA
the size
player.
of one, but he's
on
not.
The squad
He's the size of an NBA point guard, but he is not a point
with
guard.
those guys.
Right. He's not an NBA anything.
He's not an NBA player.
I think he's gonna be.
He's there for the mind. Keep their mind level.
And in 20 years, he's gonna be the team president of an organization. That's that guy, Ryan Archie. Remember that name. That's how it starts, bro. Before you know it, he is gonna Ernie Grunfeld.
He's gonna be a coach first.
He's gonna be
Landry Fields. Landry Fields, just like Landry Fields.
Landry Fields. Yep. He's gonna Trajan Langdon. Yeah,
I can totally see that. I could totally see.
He has a basketball brain, but it just doesn't translate to the floor. He knows what to do and say, but it doesn't translate to the floor.
Right. He doesn't have the ability. He's got the mind.
Yeah, he got the mind, but it is not the ability. He doesn't have the physical
ability. But one thing he does have, he has some very good friends in high places.
Yeah,
exactly.
And
that's why they're clamoring for Mikal Bridges, and that's why they're doing the things they're doing. Like, let's go. Like, let's talk about it.
Hey, EG 14,000. Would you agree if Hartenstein is this player that you say he is? Wouldn't you rather have given that money to Hartenstein, 4 years, $80 million over Josh Hart?
Well, first of all, the extension wasn't really. Yeah, I would say it all comes down to what happens this year, right? It all comes down to what happens this year. But yeah, you have to pay Hartenstein. You have to pay because he's a max player. Like, he's going to get max money somewhere eventually. Over time, he's going to get. When he breaks out, he's finally.
How old is he? He's 25, right?
He's 25. When he finally breaks. By the way, this might be sounds crazy, but it's actually not that strange for players to break out at 25 years old.
I know, Randall kind of did.
What's his name? John Stockton wasn't even a starter until he was 25 years old. So it's actually quite.
Jimmy Butler is another.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of players that it took them time. Like, every player has a different path to greatness. So
can you name a player in this era though?
In this era, it's harder in this era. Like, I can't really think of anybody in this era.
Okay.
From nothing, from being
nothing. Well,
not nothing. I'll say like
no. Because he basically is nothing. Like, from where his perception is right now, like he's literally, advanced stats say he's the best defensive player in the NBA. Like, that's where we are right now. Like that, and he just had a 5-block game, like just dominated the Bulls like it was nothing. We really need to see it against the 76ers. Like, that's the real test. Does the defense hold up against Joel Embiid? If he doesn't get in foul trouble, the Knicks win the championship. I think you put if the defense holds up against Joel Embiid, the Knicks win the championship. And obviously that's a big if. Like, that's a huge if. But I think foul trouble is a big thing. I think that's
he's learning how to be physical.
That's learning how to be physical without fouling. Having OG is that you put OG on Embiid at least at the beginning of the game. So
we ain't.
Tibbs isn't doing
that. Nah, man. You wasting fouls because all it takes is for OG to get 2 quick fouls. And now you have to take him out of the game and play your favorite player, Josh Hart.
Josh Hart's good. Josh Hart's good at basketball. He's a solid player.
Where?
And then you look up and Tyrese Maxey has 45 on Josh Hart's head.
Yep. Yeah.
Josh Hart's solid. I don't know. Like, he's not
solid and good are two different things.
But I'm talking about cost.
You can win a championship with Josh Hart as the bench player.
You're not winning a championship with Josh Hart making $20 million.
No, you're not.
You can win a championship with him as a bench player. I truly believe.
Unless you have an
he's a good
MVP
connector.
caliber player on a rookie scale contract, cost to performance, you're not winning the championship.
And you have a breakout player on a free agent contract. These are the things that we know are true, right? You got to have a free agent player that's breaking out. For instance, Steph Curry. He was not a free. His extension, he broke out on a below market extension.
Yeah.
Right. You gotta have that, and then you gotta have an MVP type player in Kevin Durant,
right,
in order to, you know what I'm saying. But to say that Josh Hart can be your sixth man, and you can win a championship,
I think he's a good like connector. Like that's what I think of it. Like he's a good role player. Like
yeah, I'm saying, but like I'm saying, but here's my thing.
Like he's a good cutter. Good.
Here's my thing. EG. When you're talking about connectors and good role players, the thing that goes in common with championship teams, they pay connectors and good role players low money. They don't overpay those guys.
Yeah,
they don't pay them $20 million to be a connector.
But you have Hardenstein on an $8 million contract.
That's temporary,
and he's overpaid.
But that's only temporary.
Bro, nobody think about this.
That's why we pulled the trigger right now for the trade now.
What team in the NBA, right? Think about this. Think about this. What team in the NBA, right, has a starting center, and then the starting center backup is making $8 million? Name one.
The center that,
Don't look at Hartenstein as the starting center now because of the Mitch injury.
Exactly.
Right? No backup center in the NBA is making $8-point-something million. Right. And so I'm not, that's not an indictment on Hartenstein. If you can get the money, bro. And is Hartenstein a good player? Yes, but for the role they selected for him, he's overpaid.
And he's supposed to flourish like this.
Well,
he's supposed to do this. This is what he's supposed to do.
Got them into the second round in the playoffs. Like his minutes against the Cavs.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Slow down.
No.
It was a group effort.
His minutes
the second round because of a group effort. Like
his minutes won. Like his minutes won that in 5. Like,
so now Hartenstein got the Knicks to the second round of the
playoffs. 100%. 100%.
He was a piece that got them there, but
he won game
we're not
1.
Gonna put that. No,
like he was the main driver of winning game 1.
Hold on. What happened?
Julius Randle dunking on Jarrett Allen. I'm sorry. Did Julius Randle dunk on Jarrett Allen down the stretch? Get the and one and go to the free throw line and hit the free throw. I'm sorry, because I thought that is the reason why. But maybe I'm wrong.
Mitchell Robinson literally outperformed.
Yeah, at the very last game, Mitchell Robinson won game 5.
Oh no, he won that series. What are you talking about?
No. Look at the net ratings.
Mitchell Robinson was the dog.
Mitchell Robinson was a net neutral.
He put the battery in Isaiah Hartenstein's back.
But this is the thing that you're not.
Mitchell Robinson was doing.
This is the thing that you're not like quantifying or putting in fair space. Hartenstein was playing backups for the majority of the series.
They weren't playing backups. It was all Mobley, and they basically staggered.
They alternate. They staggered them, and then
Allen,
they had, right? but their worst lineups were when they only had one of them.
Right.
And so we got to relax because first of all,
and that's when Hartenstein was in the game when they only had one of them.
At first, they tried to overpower with their height and athleticism.
If Hartenstein wasn't on the Knicks,
they tried to overpower us with that.
If Hartenstein wasn't on the Knicks, they would have lost to the Cavs.
But I feel like I could say that about a lot of players.
Like, are we in the echo chamber or something?
My bad.
If Hartenstein wasn't on the Knicks, they would have lost to the Cavs.
If RJ wasn't on the Knicks, they would have lost to the Cavs.
No way. No way. They would have still beat the Cavs.
No, they wouldn't have. Where were they gonna get the production?
So I'm going to ask EG 14,000 this though, because what's happening is he's got EG 14,000. You deflecting the point, bro. The point was Hartenstein is overpaid for a backup center's role, and I'm asking you, how much money does DeAndre Jordan? How much money does DeAndre Jordan make right now to back up Jokic, the league MVP?
Well, the thing is with Hartenstein,
the league minimum. Okay, we're moving on.
They have he closes games. Like even when Mitch was healthy, he would close some games because he was playing that dominant, right?
No, No,
he would
that's
close games.
That's another falsehood. He closed games because Mitch was missing free throws. You got to relax, bro. I watch games, bro. I'm not an idiot. EG, come on, bro. You're not gonna come up here and try to play us with this. Hartenstein played better than Mitch when we saw Mitch outplay
we
him,
giving
and
Hartenstein
Tibbs
the
took him
credit.
out
We're
because
not taking
they
it
were
from
doing
him.
the hack of Mitch.
Tibbs does not play backups. He does not play backups.
Really?
He doesn't.
But he's playing Josh Hart right now.
Because we don't have a back.
Right
they don't have a backup. They
and
don't have
playing,
a backup 4, right? So they have to.
Yeah.
I want to say, speaking about backup,
they are overplaying.
What was your guys' thoughts on McBride's performance today?
Oh, McBride.
He's not an NBA guard. I'm sorry.
We'll see.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna give him.
Just has to get real comfortable.
I'm gonna give him 10 more games, and if
he has
still
to get
struggling,
comfortable,
Thank you.
it's gonna.
Go
He
ahead,
has to
go
get
ahead.
comfortable. He has
One
to
at
get comfortable
a time.
in that space.
Yeah.
He's not looking over his shoulder anymore. Like, he's not looking over his shoulder anymore. The same way Grimes is not looking over his shoulder anymore. Grimes is so timid because he has to look over. He's been looking over his shoulder. He hasn't performed because he's just so scared to get pulled. He's jacking up these shots. These shots are so erratic, but he has a shot. He has some type of game, but we have to get there. Like, we giving them a chance, and we giving them a chance, and we giving them a chance. But like, let's go with it.
I'll say this before Wiz goes. Deuce is looking over his shoulder at Tibbs because he's getting pulled so Brunson can play 40 minutes because he was trash.
right? Because Tibbs doesn't play backups. He doesn't play backups. He plays the starters. He plays the starters.
Does he play Josh Hart?
He
Tibbs
views Josh Hart as a starter.
But
Josh Hart was a starter before he came to the Knicks. Like, he views Josh Hart as
a starter on non-playoff teams, by the way.
Right. Like, yeah.
Come on, let's
right.
go.
So that's why he plays, and that's why he played Hardenstein, because he doesn't view Hardenstein. Well, maybe he does, but like he closes with, he trusts Hardenstein in those moments. Right.
Yeah, because
and that's why they pay him more. And that's why they pay him more.
And you're saying Josh Hart is a starter, but he only started 40 plus games twice in a 9-year career.
Yeah, well, he came from a starting situation.
Yeah.
He was starting. He started all 51 games in Portland before when they traded
Portland.
In Portland, yeah. Well, he was
with Damian Lillard and Anthony Simons out. Is that your?
No, I'm just saying
bro.
That's why Tibbs views him as a starter level player. Like, because
if you're a knowledgeable basketball person and you want to come up and get on the thing,
I'm not saying he is a starting level player. I'm just saying he's viewed as a starter level player.
I'll say hold on. I'll say this. Because we're such a void at the wing at this moment, and Tibbs, you have to think about what Tibbs values mentally. Tibbs values rebounding. And he values not turning the ball over. Unfortunately, Josh Hart is damn near a turnover machine when you give him opportunities. But he values rebounding and size. And in Tibbs' mind, he thinks Josh Hart is a big wing. Or he plays bigger.
Guy in the 12th row today. Like,
hold on.
Oh, that was so bad, man.
Let's talk about
that was so bad.
Yo, gentlemen.
Come on.
Yes, Wiz. Go ahead.
Wiz, what's good, Wiz?
Greetings. Salutations to all of you.
Greetings,
my man, EG 40,000. I've been looking for you, kid. I've been calling you out.
You've been dodging us, bro.
On here because you dropped the knowledge last year. I read your blog.
It took so much.
The numbers were pointed out, and as soon as I started getting healthier, I started seeing what you were saying, and tonight is a culmination of what you've been saying. And now I gotta sign on that.
Wiz. Name the centers that Hartenstein played against tonight.
Okay, I'm not talking
about.
Now
just name them, bro, because you're giving credit. I want to give all credit to everybody.
Well, today he played against Andre Drummond, one of the best rebounders in NBA history,
and who else?
and some other guy, I don't know his name.
Right,
but. Yesterday,
it was an underside.
He played against defensive player of the year, blocked him 3 times, and Karl-Anthony Towns. Right, and obviously defense is a team effort in general, but Hardenstein is the main piece that makes the defense work.
Bro,
if you remove
come
Hartenstein,
on.
there's nothing. There's nothing.
Hartenstein is not no main. Yo, what you make it?
If you remove
okay.
Hartenstein, the defense goes to shit. There's nothing. You have nothing.
Yeah,
because we don't have another center on the
Actually,
team.
Even if you replaced him with Andre Drummond,
okay.
you
So,
replace him with a different
since you
center,
coming in
you would
trolling
have
us, since you coming in trolling the Knicks chat, I'm gonna troll the Nuggets chat, bro. Right? I'm gonna troll the Nuggets, bro.
Oh my god.
Jamal
The
Murray
NBA
is
championship
trash.
Nuggets. The NBA
Yeah.
championship.
Yo,
NBA championship Nuggets.
EG 14,000.
It's
I'm
scripted,
saying,
bro.
I'm a believer.
It's
This
scripted.
morning, Freezy asked me about the Knicks.
Jokic is a system player.
Wow.
Bro, Jokic is a system player, bro. If it wasn't for Mike Malone's system, Jokic would be nobody.
Wow.
There are
Yeah, hear how ridiculous this stuff sound, right? This is what it sounds like when doves cry. Right?
Freezy.
Right? So my thing is Hartenstein is not a bad player. I think Hartenstein's a good player. To put Hartenstein on a pedestal like this is ridiculous.
Just wait.
Right?
Just
right.
wait.
If it wasn't for Aaron Gordon, Jokic wouldn't nearly be the player he is.
He was MVP.
Right?
He was the MVP before Aaron Gordon got there.
Right. Yep. Because he's a system player.
But he turned into a champion when Aaron Gordon decided to take on the number one threat on other teams' offense.
Yeah.
Jokic is
the only player to win a
roles of
championship
baseball
as the
players.
only All-Star to never play with another never play with another All-Star. Jokic is the only player to ever do it. To never play with another All-Star.
But hold on, Jamal Murray is one of the few players that have a spike in offensive production in the
Jamal
playoffs.
Murray's
Period.
so inconsistent, man.
He's inconsistent, but in the
one
playoffs,
game
in the
he'll
playoffs,
be 30,
In the
next
playoffs,
game
he's
he'll be
Michael Jordan,
nothing.
bro.
but we're talking about the playoffs. I'm talking about his production.
He
in the
had
playoffs.
like 12-point games in the playoffs.
And Dre, and notice how he eliminated Olajuwon in '94. He's using the Olajuwon in '95 argument. Well, Olajuwon played with Drexler in '95. Really? Didn't they win the championship in '94 also? Olajuwon didn't need Drexler in '95, bro. Right? The only All-Star, come on, bro. Relax, man. We're picking out like we're handpicking certain things, bro. Is Jokic a good player? He all right. Jokic is all right. Would I trade Josh Hart for him? Absolutely not.
Oh my God!
I get with the Doves. I get the Doves thing.
I would pedal on a horse and carriage Josh Hart to Denver for Jokic.
But
I'll do
now
a Rickshaw.
is Hartenstein a good player, bro? We think Hartenstein is a good player.
Jokic
but to elevate him into Pat Ewing status, we gotta relax, bro.
Jokic to the East. Well, he's putting up stats that put him in Pat Ewing status today.
Wiz, you see what I'm talking about?
No, he just did. He just did, and it's just the start. It's just the start.
No disrespect, but I already heard this before. Like two summers ago.
You can't talk crazy about Patrick.
20 rebounds,
and I'm
5 blocks.
I'm Jamaican.
And it's just starting, man. It's just starting.
This is you sound like Donald Trump's speechwriter, bro.
It's just
48 hours ago.
This is just the beginning. That's what it sounds like, bro. And then when I talk to you about you telling me this 2 summers ago, right? You avoid that and make an excuse like, he was the only player in NBA history to play through an injury. That's why his stats looked like the way he did.
Like it was very unlucky. Like last year, it just wasn't meant to be.
Player to be unlucky. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, he's been very unlucky in his career. But like when he breaks out, he hasn't broken out yet. By the way, like
Dre, Dre. Now you hear what he's saying right now. When I used to talk to you before about Julius Randle taking his game to the next level. You pointed out Julius Randle's age and the likelihood that it won't happen. Now, EG 14,000 is here saying the same thing, right? And all I'm saying,
25. So,
but historically, the guys that win like most improved player are rarely in the 26, 27 range. And Julius Randle did it, but most of the guys who win it are in the 21, 22, 23 type range that win most improved.
Siakam went at 24 years old,
but Siakam picked up the game late period.
Yeah.
Like he started playing basketball at age 17.
And Siakam had help
it up early.
Did Siakam not have a roster that benefited him? He did. right?
That was
So he
and
could
the
thrive
Raptors
in a
probably
certain
had
role.
the best developmental staff in the NBA for a long amount of time. Like we're talking about guys they pulled from the G League or the D League
The D
at
League
the
going in.
time. At the time, the D League like they pulled a lot of guys to the NBA and made them pretty good NBA players, and
Just
they
en-
won a championship down there. So
just enjoy the championship, man. Just enjoy the championship.
hey, look,
Yeah, and
I'm gonna get me I'm gonna get me a bedazzled Hartenstein jersey with the
uh,
55s glowing on the back.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And no disrespect to Jokic. Jokic is right. He may, but listen, I just
You're
need to see.
funny. You're
I
funny,
need to
Uncle.
see 10 more seasons of
Breezy.
this before I believe it.
I was gonna say, uh, EG
That's
reminds me of this meme where it goes, they called me a madman,
they call it. They call
and
him.
Yo, EG 40,000.
but didn't he have like something about like you had like a Reddit about Jokic before Jokic became Jokic?
Right,
I believe.
right. And
Right.
you know what? And it was actually very similar because Jokic, his second year, he was like really breaking out. Like he was averaging a triple double in a month. And then like the next 2 years, it was just a slump. Like every beginning of the year, he was not playing at the level I thought he was going to play at. And it was for like 2 years
That's
straight.
because he's high, bro. He's just
And
high.
then
He
he
is
won
step pattern, bro.
like two MVPs in a row and then an NBA championship. So like these things take time. It just takes time. It takes more time. Like I want to be able to like say everything happens like right now. It just takes time to build chemistry.
Jokic at Hartenstein's age was already good.
He was already like
He was already great.
insane. He was already
Right. Yeah. So
a
when you
superstar.
talk to me about certain things take time,
Right.
I get it. I'm not knocking that. All I'm saying is in the words of Michael Jordan, the ceiling can't be the roof with Hartenstein, bro. Hartenstein's a good player. Relax, bro. He got 20 rebounds against Andre
5 blocks.
Drummond and EG 14,000 stunt double, right?
The
Against a
backup
big
And so that's why
team.
it's going to be really important to see what he does against Joel Embiid because I think during the tournament against Giannis, he forced Giannis to shoot 1 of 5 shooting. So like he played really good against Giannis 1-on-1 in the play-in tournament. Obviously, I think he's like the only player that
never
forced
played them
Giannis
in
to miss.
the in-season tournament.
In season, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The in-season tournament, right?
Okay,
He played him really good in the in-season tournament. I think he was
Okay.
the only player to force Giannis to miss a shot. Essentially,
Really? Okay. I must have missed that game because I
Well,
saw
on the
Randall.
Knicks,
yeah.
I
It
saw
was very
Randall force Giannis to miss a lot of shots. I actually
in
saw
the
Giannis
in-season tournament.
and what? Are you serious?
in the tournament or like
In the tournament, I'm
the
talking about in
games
the tournament,
before.
in the
Oh, you
in-season
talking about
tournament.
the
The
actual
Friday
tournament?
night in-season tournament
Yeah,
game.
in
The
in this,
Friday night in-season tournament game. What I think you are missing is that Giannis wasn't a factor because of Randall and others. Whoever their shooting guard was lit us up from out of nowhere.
yeah, they shot. Everyone made a
This
three.
Malik Beasley. Y'all remember that?
Malik Beasley, yep. Malik Beasley was on the Nuggets, by the way. They traded him for nothing.
Oh yeah, they let him go.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, he's making that minimum. He's gonna make some money in the summer though, because of how he's shooting.
But yeah. I want to see. I just want to see what he does against Embiid healthy. Let's see what Hartenstein does against Embiid healthy. Because you can say, you can give all the credit to OG. OG can't stop Embiid. Nobody can really stop Embiid. If Hartenstein can slow down Embiid, the Knicks will win a championship. But that's a very big if, right? We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Embiid will try to bait him into foul trouble.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Can he stay out of foul trouble? Can he? We'll see.
You know the rip through is coming.
We know
it's coming, and it's hard to stay.
Everyone in the building knows the rip through is coming.
I'll say Hartenstein has done a better job this season playing physical without fouling. Granted, he was in foul trouble a few games ago.
Yeah,
but I'd have to look it up, but I don't think his foul rate is as high as it's been historically because he used to have an astronomical foul.
Well, as players play more minutes, their foul rate tends
trying to get paid.
Yeah.
Right. So
because when he comes in against bench units, he's full go, full aggressiveness because he's not trying to give up any bucket without you shooting free throws in the process. So
and our issue is So the Knicks in general don't have a Hartenstein issue. Hartenstein is a good player.
20
What I'm
rebounds, 5
saying is
blocks. Leads the
relax,
NBA and defensive
relax with relax with printing his All-Star jersey. Relax, right?
Defensive player of the year level player defense right now.
Hey, are you really? I feel like this is Mission Impossible, bro. Is this Hoodie Cav? Are you Hoodie Cav?
I'm just
do you have an Ethan Hunt mask
he
on?
played defensive player of the year defense the last 2 games. The last 2 games, and there were games before that he played defensive player of the year defense too. They've
playing
been
at a very high
overall.
level. He's playing at a very high level defense.
I feel like this is Hoodie Cav. Hoodie Cav, say your Hoodie Cav. Say your
He
safe
got
word,
5 blocks today. Like
pineapples.
5 blocks and 20 rebounds. What are you talking about?
Hoodie
What
Cav,
are
say
you
your
talking
safe
about,
word,
bro?
Dre, you remember how Hoodie Cav used to talk about Carl Anthony Towns,
Hoodie
regardless
Cav,
of what we.
Hoodie Cav will get fixated. I'm glad. Well, shout out to Hoodie Cav wherever you at. But I saw the news where it said the Knicks are still interested in Carl Towns. I know this man. Hoodie Cav would have had a field day talking
You don't
about
want
that.
Cat.
Yeah,
I do not want.
Man.
Yeah, and EG, guess what? I'm sorry to tell you, if the Knicks trade for Carl Anthony Towns, your man's will be on his 14th team. Right? and you know this. And
His
you'll be you'll be in the Minnesota's, you'll be on the Timberwolves at Night podcast with 7 people watching. Talking about Hartenstein just needs a chance, give him 2 years. Welcome to the Timberwolves at Night podcast. Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, the Timberwolves are not trading for Hartenstein. Thank God.
I was gonna ask though, I noticed like also and I think it was the second quarter where like Tibbs kind of like let Randall run with the second unit, and it was like really bad. Do you think it's a thing of like, I mean, obviously quickly not being there.
There's no secondary scorer. No secondary option.
Do you think do you think that possibly as somebody who can kind of like grow into that, or is that somebody that we probably have to go trade for?
Are you asking me?
Dude,
anybody?
I don't think that guy is on his team right now in terms of a bench unit, like scorer. No,
you most likely need to make a trade. But
Yeah,
I want to see.
They wanted to be Grimes, but
I want to see
it's not
McBride just
happening.
step up because they gave him that contract extension. I want to see McBride actually do something. Give him an opportunity. See if he gets hot. It's a big if.
The analytics support him.
He was really good in the G League. Like he has the skill set to do it. It's just it's can he get the confidence to do it?
It's something that I noticed. Like when we talk about 6 men and like quick scorers, you got to have an in between game, a floater, a mid range shot, something that you can always get to, a pet move. Miles doesn't really have it right now, and if you watch Grimes doesn't have it. Grimes will dribble the ball to take a 3-point shot. Basically.
Yeah,
he's the one, bro. That's what I'm saying. I think we do Grimes a disservice at times. Tonight, Quentin Grimes looked by far the more aggressive player offensively.
But this is where there's one.
Jay, let me. I just want to
okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So Grimes looked to penetrate. At least he looked to penetrate, even though the penetration wasn't there for him. He at least looked aggressive enough to take it to the defense, right? When it wasn't there, he just shot the ball over the top. Did he have a great shooting night? No. Right? But in this era of give a guard off the bench a chance, McBride is getting a chance. His minutes, he's getting minutes now where he never got minutes before. So it's not like you're going to say to, if McBride can't say, oh, I need 30 minutes to get in the rhythm. McBride has to be the best version of himself every time he steps on the floor, and that will give the coaches more confidence in him to increase his minutes and his role, right? But if McBride is saying, I need more minutes to get into a rhythm, that's 450 NBA players that need that.
Yeah.
And you don't have the minutes and role for that. You got to be the best version of yourself when you're on the floor. If not, then you have to explore other options.
And
I'm all
I think
for
the
Deuce.
Knicks
I love
trust him.
Deuce, right? I love Deuce McBride. I want him to be that guy. But even Grimes is saying that, listen, these minutes may not be here. So I gotta be impactful while I'm out here. So if Grimes is beating out McBride, right, then that's not a McBride issue. McBride's issue is he has got to step his game up.
He's got to be
Period.
assertive.
Or the Knicks are gonna go out and find another guy.
Like Freezy, when we look at our bench lineups and our bench units, you need someone to come off the bench from the guards to be assertive. Period. You can't be this hesitant, timid. Like when you watch McBride play, he dribbles around and then he gives the ball up to Randall. He doesn't tell Randall like, "Yo, set a screen. Let me try to get to the mid-range shot and I'll pull up."
Right.
At this point, if you're not aggressive, you're putting us at a disadvantage because Freezy, we run a read and react system. If you're not reacting, what are you doing? Nothing. You're just sitting there meandering, waiting for something to happen for you. And I don't. There's a confidence factor, absolutely, but I think there's also like a partial skill issue. I don't think he's there just yet. As with Grimes, like Freeze, you saw the play when Grimes got into the paint. He had a floater right in front of him, and he just didn't. He didn't know how to deploy a floater in that moment, so he just threw an awkward pass, and it was a turnover. Like he rarely finishes with his offhand. Like when you're talking about like microwave scores and what we need off the bench, you need a diversification of a skill set. You need the ability to do multiple things or have a pet move that you can get to at any given time. And these guys don't have it just yet. I just don't think they're that far in their development,
Dre,
which is why we have to trade for somebody.
let me just speak to a thing real quick before Wiz jumps in.
Yeah.
Historically, let me get back on camera for this. But for the fans, oh geez, what am I doing?
Hey, Leon Rose is cooking.
Yeah, what am I doing here? Okay. Yeah, what am I doing? Okay, let me do okay. For the fans of Deuce McBride, I hate to break it to you. Bob Huggins lead guards don't ever cut it in the NBA.
Bob Huggins.
It's just what it is, right? Bob Huggins lead guards are
College
not
coach, EG.
Oh,
yeah
okay.
are not lead guards, bro. He don't create them to be that. He creates them to be tough-minded defenders that play a certain level of defense.
That's fascinating.
And then once you get to the NBA, you learn your own offense. Right? And what that does for a guard that stays 3 years in Bob Huggins' system, it turns you into a Javon Carter or Kenny Satterfield or a bunch of names that you've never heard of before. Right? And if you don't believe me, look at the history of Cincinnati Bobcats point guards and West Virginia Mountaineers point guards in the NBA.
That's a great point. Like coaching is everything, especially with young players. Like, and that's something that we don't really look at. Like,
that's the nuance
influence,
part.
right?
The nuance
part.
And then
somebody static. Okay, I think it's gone now.
And here's the thing: you pass Deuce McBride off to from a Bob Huggins system to Tom Thibodeau. I think Tom Thibodeau is going to develop a young guard into an offensive weapon. What are we really asking?
It's not going to happen. He doesn't have the right support for it.
Right.
You got to come in here with the mentality already.
But the thing is, I think he has a skill set for it because we saw him be a lead guard, like score a lot of points in the G League. Right? I feel like he has the skill set. He just doesn't have the mentality for it. Right? Because he keeps passing. He's so passive, McBride. Like he doesn't.
But here's the thing: like the level of talent in the G League isn't the same in the NBA. Like the just the physicality or the guys guarding you, like you'll be way more hesitant if you're worried that your shot might actually get blocked because you're 6'1" in the NBA, as opposed to being in the G League and the average starting point guard out there is like 5'11" and not really athletic.
And Deuce McBride thrives in the G League off of athleticism alone. That's it. And then when he comes up to this level, where he's not the best athlete on the floor,
he's just a guy physically.
Yeah. We know Deuce. We know Deuce is a center fielder and a free safety, all that stuff from high school. We listen. We
He's a
already
quarterback.
yeah. We know Deuce McBride is a shrunken down, less skilled Jalen Suggs, right? We know this already, right? But if Jalen Suggs was here with the Knicks, would we trust Jalen Suggs' development with Tom Thibodeau?
Oh no.
And he has more to work with than Miles McBride. And
You would have
listen,
turned him
I
into
like
to
Miles
Keith Bogus.
McBride.
You would have turned him into Keith Bogus.
Yep.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, since if you guys don't really feel too much trust in Tibbs developing that kind of guy, like, how about teams that's selling like like a Jordan Clarkson or like a Brogdon, that type of
They're going to have
mold?
to do that.
Yeah, just because I just feel like those guys are just cool, vets who've established that they have
Defined
game.
skills. They have a defined
Yeah.
skill set already. So like Tibbs doesn't really have to tell them what to do. They'll just do it. And partially is when you run a read and react system, you just play. It's the reason why OG came in and said, "I'm just cutting, and I don't know what I'm doing
right now." Yeah,
but
at the moment,
but that's fine if you're reading and reacting to the defense. You can cut if you have the basketball IQ and feel and sense to know the lane is going to be open because so and so is dribbling on the perimeter from the wing, and they're bringing help over from this side because he's a really creative isolation player, right? So you have to, when it's a read and react and you're already hesitant, you being hesitant in a read and react system is like a death nail.
Yeah. The best defense is being hesitant.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's going to be in my opinion, with this like new look team, I think, because I feel like they're going to obviously like adjust the bench. They're going to do something with that, but when it's time to come to the playoffs, because people like to always knock Randall, but he's getting so much better. I think with OG being there, he'll kind of get into his rhythm a lot more. If he stays healthy playoff time, I think it's gonna be such a sleeper that he's gonna have a great game that people are gonna look and be like, okay, this team isn't any joke. Because I feel like a lot of people see Randall and goes, well, he playoffs he chokes, but I'm like, they don't really have context to where things have happened.
With Mitch in, he chokes. When the paint is all congested and there's no spacing, he chokes. But with Hartenstein, it'll be completely different. It'll be completely
I do, even though Randall's offensive scoring rampage started with Mitch playing, I do believe personally, just from the eye test, I think Randall is more comfortable offensively with Hartenstein on the court because he can attempt to bully ball with less help coming over, of course. But
Dre, you know what the separator is?
Yeah.
The thing with iHeart is, I think the separator, what takes iHeart's game to the next level, is not this imaginary defense that he plays, right? Or the 20 rebounds in a game versus G Leaguers. I think where his game opens up, if he starts to take the 3-pointers from the corner, right? Nah. If he starts to shoot the 3, I think that's where his game opens all the way up. This, in my opinion,
I actually have a hot take about that. I honestly, this is a super hot take. I think shooting is the most overrated skill in basketball, generally speaking. Because if you look, I think the most underrated skill is passing. Because to me, passing is spacing. Passing is what gets players open. Shooting in general.
Have a good night, guys. I'm out of here.
Peace.
See ya. But yeah, shooting in general is just, to me, it's an overrated thing. Like a lot of MVPs don't shoot. Michael Jordan, not the best 3-point shooter. LeBron James, not the best 3-point shooter. Later in the years, they'll develop it like as a respect me thing. But like it's not. It's so variable.
So I think you're wrong on that. Right. Let's stay on this point that you were talking about just now, that you don't have to shoot.
When you're done freezing, I'm gonna answer something to that.
So I think shooting is the most overrated skill. It's
all right, but let me speak to
overrated skill.
Let me speak to that though, because I think you're talking in terms of player, but not in terms of team. Because every time you say a great player wasn't a great shooter, those teams always surrounded that player with what? Great shooting, right? So from a player's perspective, if the individual, I think I agree with you on that basis. But if we're talking about basketball theory, team concept, what do you need on the floor to win? You absolutely have to have shooters on the floor. Some of Michael Jordan's greatest moments involved shooting, right? LeBron James' greatest moment, the Kyrie 3 in game 7 against the Cavs, right? LeBron is on the floor, right? Kyrie Irving hits the greatest shot in a game 7 we've seen recently. That was a shot, not from LeBron, right? Magic Johnson had shooters, Byron Scott, Michael Cooper, right? Shaquille O'Neal had Dennis Scott, Nick Anderson as shooters. And when he was in LA, he had Brian Shaw, Rick Fox, Robert Horry. A lot of those Lakers runs were saved by shooters, Derek Fisher in San Antonio, Robert Horry against Sacramento, right? So I understand where you're going about if we're talking about just individual greatness, you don't have to be a Larry Bird, right? But in the team concept, you absolutely need great shooters on the floor because, again, spacing stretches the floor, like passing stretches the floor, but so does shooters. Because if you put shooters on the floor, the gravity by the defenders is different.
The leverage that you leverage, like the reason why Jokic is able, like sometimes when teams decide, okay, we're just not going to double Jokic, and Jokic can just go for 40 and 50 points because they're trying to leverage taking away the passing, right?
Right.
And the
Because
passing leads
KCP
to
is
the
an
open.
amazing shooter. Because
Yeah,
Michael Porter
Michael
Jr.
Porter
is an amazing,
Jr. Yeah,
is an amazing
yeah.
shooter.
So I mean, it's about it's like a chicken or the egg type of thing. Like they both go hand in hand. But this is the thing that I want to say that separates, that might take him to the next level. It's not the corner three per se, Freezy. It's the above the break three, because the variables that happen from setting picks above the break, you can pass from those positions. There's way more options for you to have happen from those positions in terms of passing, shooting, or scoring, or dribbling, putting the ball on the floor. Whereas if you're relying on playmaking out the corner, like there's a reason why Joel Embiid is taking a leap this year, because he's getting the ball in the same spots that Jokic got them, above the break, atop of the key, facing the rim, so he can pass more. He's averaging a career high in assists right now.
Right.
Like it's less about being in the corners. It's about the three. Like the threat of the three is always gonna be helpful towards your game. It's not the end all be all, but where you're shooting the three means more. Like there's a reason why the overwhelming majority of Jokic's threes are above the break, because when he's above the break or at the top of the key, he has multiple options. There's more variability to your game, and once you have the ability to pass, passing from the top of the key is a hell of a lot more damaging than passing from the corners. There's just more chances for
And
turnover or getting
right.
double teamed.
So,
right?
I get what you're saying,
what you're saying is
but
we need to
Dre,
put Fournier back into the lineup.
no,
That's what you're
no,
saying, right?
no,
No. What I'm saying
No,
is, if
right.
we're going to like, if
You
what I'm
know,
saying is, if
former
Hartenstein,
Nuggets great Evan Fournier.
he was a point guard by that team too.
yeah,
But
put him back in. They need an extra playmaker. You know,
but
actually, that might actually work. Oh fuck.
but
No,
the thing that sets like that you say might take him to the next level is being a passing and shooting threat from above the break
No,
or at
I
the
don't.
top of the key,
But
or
I think
setting screens from up there.
I think you're missing what I'm saying, because I believe what you're saying in theory for the great players, that's perfect. But Hartenstein hasn't shown us in a large enough sample size that he can play make from there.
Right.
What I'm saying is take all the decision making out of his hands, right? And when you drive the paint, kick it out to Hartenstein in the corner. He has one thing to do with the basketball, one decision to make, right? That's shoot it, right? I'm saying at this point, now, when he develops and become better and better, like EG 14,000 says, I would agree with you with putting him at the top and doing those things. But what I'm saying is, if we're talking about the evolution of a Hartenstein and not the finished product, right? Started off one thing at a time. When you catch that ball in the corner and you have space, shoot it. That's your only decision. Shoot it, right? Right? That's the only thing you're concerned with. Now, once he gets that once we can depend on him to shoot about 32.
Now you're 5 out. Now you're 5 out.
Yeah. Once he shoots about 32, 33% from 3, now he's in that Wendell Carter, Mo Bamba, almost Miles Turner category of shooting threes. Then we can get him to couple that in his bag with his passing and decision making. And now he looks different. But if we're talking about on this team right now, right, we can't have a Hartenstein experiment knowing that you just did a trade and got people in and you're working on chemistry anyway, right? We don't want to start rowing the boat backwards, right? We want to just say, hey, to simplify, just knock down these corner threes.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, isn't that the beauty, though? We have 50-plus games to figure it out.
Taj Gibson came on this team and he took one of them shots that we were talking about right now.
Right, right, yep.
Taj Gibson, he explored that shot. Like, so Hartenstein has no reason why he's not.
But this is where where Tibbs' head is at. He started Jericho Sims over Hartenstein. This is why I was like, yo, if you want to see Hartenstein, if you know in your heart of hearts Hartenstein can be this XYZ, Tibbs can't be the coach if you're wanting him to expand or explode. Like, yes, he's playing well within the parameters that the things that Tibbs wants him to do. But that level that you're talking about, that glass ceiling, you're not going to reach that with this head coach. That's the issue. And I'm right, EV. I'm right in that regard with how this head coach operates. Like, he's playing well within the parameters of what he wants or what he idealizes, what works in the NBA: rebounding, rim protection, playing defense.
Right.
But the things that you're talking about that will take him to the next level, he's not going to be given those opportunities underneath this head coach because of how strict he is, or how he views the offensive landscape, or how he views what is effective in scoring. So he can make the odd pass or make the nice pass here and there, but they're never going to give him the usage required to be the MVP of the NBA Finals. They're never going to do that. They're just not.
And part of that had to do with him earning it, but to the imagination piece of it too. Jericho Sims, a guy that's useless to us at center. Tom Thibodeau, in my mind, and I've been saying this I've been saying this all season. In my mind, I think Jericho Sims should be an Aaron Gordon type defender, right? Where, listen, I'm not saying that he's Aaron Gordon. We got to relax. I'm talking about the archetype. You know what I'm saying? The big, burly, long, tall athlete that can guard small
Switchable.
5, 4. Yeah. And see, with Jericho Sims is 6'9", 250 with a vertical just like Aaron Gordon. Bro, what other 250-pound guy in the NBA has a vertical like Aaron Gordon? I think it's only one. Right?
Zion, maybe.
Oh yeah, I forgot Zion. Oh, 2.
That's Zion.
2. It's Zion and Jericho Sims, right? And for people that think just because you can jump doesn't mean you're athletic, no, you can jump because you're athletic, right? It's not one of these things. You don't see Wall Street guys coming out of nerds just don't walk in the gym. They can't walk and chew bubblegum, but then they can jump in the air and do a 360 windmill. No. It don't work like that, bro. The jumping is a byproduct of him being mega oozing with athleticism. And so my thing is instead of wasting Jericho Sims in a role that doesn't fit, why not bring in another center? Jericho Sims and Precious Achiuwa now both are your jumbo.
Play them together?
No.
Oh no.
Did you just hear me say bring in another? I said
bring in another center. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
On no planet. No. No. Can you imagine a lineup of Jericho Sims, Josh Hart, Precious Achiuwa, and Deuce McBride coming off the bench?
No, I mean, we kind of did that with RJ. We had RJ Barrett, Josh Hart, Jericho Sims minutes. Really. We actually saw this.
We're gonna see it though. Like, this is gonna happen. Sometimes it's true. We're gonna see that shit. We're gonna see it. Unfortunately, we're gonna see it.
thank you.
There's no way around it.
Josh Hart tries to play like a smaller Aaron Gordon. That's what he tries.
That man called himself Josh Barkley.
Josh.
That's what he calls it. Well, that's his nickname on.
Is
Urban Dictionary. Not Urban Dictionary. Not Urban Dictionary. Basketball Reference. If you look up his name, one of his nicknames is Josh Barkley because he rebounds. That's his best skill.
Oh my god.
This is why I'm hesitant.
Does
to talk
Hartenstein
about,
have any nicknames? Jokic of the East.
I
No.
don't. You have to look up his page.
No,
but this is why
we call him Air Hartenstein. Well, I call him Air Hartenstein.
But this is why I'm hesitant
You know
about advanced
he has some
analytics.
nicknames.
I'm hesitant about advanced
Jokic.
analytics because advanced analytics weigh rebounding a lot.
Yeah.
And Josh Hart, for his position, rebounds a lot. But if you're talking about his actual skill set, you can't tell me what he does on the offensive end benefits
I think
Julius
he's
Randle
a solid
or
passer. I think he's a solid passer.
did he look like it tonight?
Oh my god, today is a bad day to say that.
I'm willing to wager. I'm willing to wager about half the time he pushes it in transition, it's a turnover or a bad shot.
Well, yeah, I think sometimes he makes it good. Like
Sometimes, like we talk about guys in the league that shoot damn near 80% at the rim, and he attempts to play like a guy that's bigger.
He does have a
but he's
higher
not.
turnover percentage than assist percentage this year.
Yeah, this
for
is
his
what I'm saying.
career. For his career.
For his career, but for his career, he played on bad basketball teams.
No.
So it's one of those things where it's like, yes, Josh Hart was helpful for us last year, but I think the large portion of the reason why he was so helpful is because he was hyper efficient. He was shooting 50% from
Yeah.
three.
70% true shooting was just unrealistic.
That's not stable. And now that it's kind of tapered
dropping.
off.
Yeah, and
it's
you
not
paid
as
him
impactful.
based on
his
that high
highest
shooting.
his highest value, which is like, this is why I'm like, for cost per production, I would literally have Christian Brown over Josh Hart. They essentially do the
Christian
same thing.
Brown?
Yes.
Yep.
Remember, Tibbs, like 6'4" guys.
Their energy, like he's like, his best trait is energy. At some point, if you're a guard, I would like skill to be like your one. I would like a particular skill to be like good. Like I at least be a really good shooter or a really good passer, especially if you're a guard entitled. But like his best trait, I will say that OG being here kind of heightens his best trait in terms of rebounding, because now he gets to rebound against guys his size that aren't
OG just
boxing out.
makes everything work, man. You
He
need
pushes
a guy
guys
like
back
OG
into
to win a
position.
championship. You need a guy like OG to win a championship. You just need him. You need that that big wing to win a championship that can hit threes.
Right.
You just need that.
It's pretty much, yeah. So I mean, he pushes guys back into their right positions.
Right. Like I said, I think it comes down to this game coming up against the 76ers will be a marking point of where this team is. If they lose that game, then you have to like make a lot of changes on the bench. I think but like if they win that game, I think it's sky high.
I still think if you win, you got to still make changes on the bench, because you can't go into every night, go into your bench and be at a disadvantage.
I honestly think
AJ, so I'll trade you Christian Brown for Peyton Watson. I prefer Peyton Watson.
Peyton Watson's better, man. Peyton Watson's nice. He's super young. Like, I don't trust him in a playoff series, honestly, because he's just too young. I can see him like going into a playoff series and missing every shot. But
his defense
he has so much potential, man. So much potential.
He kind of reminds me of Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah, that's a good comp.
Just that lanky, explosive athlete, stronger than what you think he is. Because like guys try to post him up, and he's not really going anywhere. But
he's got a level of nasty to him that I like.
Yeah, his motor is nice.
Yeah, I think he has a higher ceiling than McDaniels, because there's a little bit of creation to his game.
I think there's been creation to Jaden McDaniels' game, but it's kind of slowed down. Like last year when Karl Towns was
more
out,
of a spot up shooter, I think.
Yeah. But I'm talking about putting the ball on the floor.
Yeah.
When Karl Towns was out, he was asked to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
Now that Carl Towns is back, he's not. And they paid him remember, they paid him a lot of money based on his future potential because they know they're probably going to get rid of Carl Towns after this year.
Yeah. No. I don't think so. Do you think so? Unless he asks
I,
out. I mean,
they're
they're
not.
winning.
They're not going to. Well, if they win a championship, sure, right?
I mean, it's the most winning period in their franchise history. I think they were
But
like number one for the longest time in their entire franchise history.
Yeah, in terms of win percentage,
Yeah,
right?
in terms of
Yeah,
being like the number
win.
one seed in the West or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
It's like it's the longest time in their franchise history.
right.
So that's
but
cool,
but
I guess.
but when we talk about the new aprons and these rules in the CBA in terms of team building, when Ant Edwards' contract kicks in and Jalen McDaniels' contract kicks in, and Gobert is still making a ton of money, and then Cat is making like somebody would have to go. Like if it's not Cat, then it might be Gobert. Like I'm being so
Yeah,
sincere. Like
you can't trade Gobert though
No.
you can't.
because
That whole
Gobert
defense is
is the
based
reason
around
why they're where they're at.
Right.
absolutely.
What they may wind up doing is trading Nas Reed for an asset.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Nas Reed is overrated, by the way. Like he'll hit threes, but
The advanced analytics loved him last year though.
no, he's actually been a negative his entire career. Like they've always been worse when he's on the floor.
Yeah.
Just the on-off stats, Like
I
obviously
thought
it's a team stat, but like they it says something when your team is not better when you're on the floor. It says something, especially in different contexts,
I
right?
thought the advanced
Over a long.
analytics. I might be thinking of someone else. I thought the
Uh,
advanced analytics loved him. Interesting.
um, we're talking about Nas Reed. Not
Yeah.
no like PER and like the traditional advanced analytics
No,
kind of
I'm
like
thinking
him.
about like box plus minus and all that other
Yeah.
stuff.
So like he has a PR of like 18. Good decent BPM, but like he's been -8, -8, -6, -5 this year. So every year of his like the last 4 years, he's been a negative. So like
Mm.
he does a lot of shooting, he does a lot of scoring, but that shows that he like gives up cutting layups. He has a
But
lot
you
of
know why?
defense.
But you know why I think that they might get rid of Gobert is because he's Nas Reed is technically of that same archetype of big semi playmaking, shooting big, and
Right.
they'll be like, okay, we have a system. Okay, we're gonna have to get rid of Cat, so we just put Nas Reed in that place where Cat was the big shooting big. But I don't know how it's gonna work out for them financially. I just don't. Unless they win a championship and they're cool with going well over the tax and the aprons, cool. But they're gonna be in a
Well,
weird
they do
position.
have a new ownership group.
Yeah.
Do they?
Remember?
Okay. Isn't Alex Rodriguez part of it?
Yeah, but he's a part.
He's just the face.
Remember Glenn? What's his name? Just left a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Glenn Rathers, something. Glenn something.
No. You're thinking the old Phoenix Suns owner.
Oh no, yeah. That's the racist guy. Okay, that was
Yeah,
different.
Racist guy.
But yeah, um, yeah, I just don't know how they'll do it if they do decide to. Like, I think it's really dependent on how far they go in the playoffs. To be absolutely honest, like if they flame out in the second round, it would be very wolves of them to just be like, eh,
run it back.
yeah. It would be like,
Yeah.
do we need to pay all these guys all this money?
What is OKC going to do? I don't know.
I think they should trade for
Marketing.
yeah.
No, you don't trade for Markin. Are you crazy? That's
Why
insane.
not?
Because he's overrated.
Here we go.
Markkinen, he's okay.
No lie, he's another dude that doesn't impact winning, bro.
He does. He's a stat patter basically.
You
Like,
don't
he's
you
really
don't notice every team gets better after he leaves?
yeah, a lot. Yeah. Well, not every team.
Well, the Bulls.
Well,
the
yeah,
Bulls
actually, no, they did. The Bulls
Yeah,
did get
every
better.
team gets better after
temporarily.
Um,
Temporarily.
And
then
you know what that Jazz team? It was Mike Conley was the driver of that Jazz team. Like Mike Conley's been the driver of every single team, like that just suddenly gets good when they have him. Like literally, Mike Conley, like
Freezy been wanting Mike Conley for like 5 years now.
Mike Conley's
that's who
basketball IQ is
that's who
amazing.
the
It's
the
phenomenal.
Knicks should get is Mike fucking Conley. If you can get him, like you win a championship.
Right.
We're probably looking at like Brogdon or something. I don't
Brogdon,
know.
yeah, Brogdon's
Which is
more realistic.
But he's
but
likely to get hurt as we get to the playoffs, like he does every year.
Yeah. 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 And that's a balance, and that's also why you're not going to see Mitch as a Nick again, because they're just so because he's just going to get hurt.
I'm being absolutely honest. Like I think we probably pay the most for our analytics department, and they
Yeah.
seem to love Mitch in the
No, no,
interview.
no. They love
No, no,
Harden.
no. They love Hartenstein, which is why he got signed in the first place, right? But once you get the player on the team, the coach has the autonomy to decide how you employ them. It's like one of the reasons why like our shot diet or our shot profile has changed over the years, but it's not deviating from how Tibbs wants the shots to go up. Like we're generating like the corner shots, but we're doing it in the more stagnant, static 2017 Rockets way instead of the more
Yeah.
beautiful ball movement, man movement, what kind of way.
Yeah.
Which
So
which
I
is
have
why I
I have the
mentioned
trade. I have the
yeah.
trade, by the way, that I think the Knicks are going to pull off, and it's going
Yeah.
to shock the world. And
What is
chat,
it?
but before y'all disagree with me, because anytime somebody has an idea, they're like, "No."
Go for
What's
it.
the trade? What's the trade?
Am I glitchy? Am I glitchy?
No, no,
Hold
you
on.
good. You good. You good. You good.
Okay. All right. So I think the trade is Fournier, Grimes, and multiple first round picks, and there'll be a third team involved also, right? I think the trade. Okay, let me say. So I'll simplify it. Zach LaVine to Cleveland, Donovan Mitchell to Miami, Tyler Hero and Kevin Love to the Knicks, and Evan Fournier and Grimes and picks. 2 picks to Cleveland, 2 picks to Chicago.
Tyler Hero.
Yep, Tyler Hero. I think Tyler Hero and Kevin Love is the move that the Knicks are going to pull off. And so what that does on the surface, I know everybody's going to be like, "No, I hate Tyler Hero." So in theory, you're trading a ham sandwich for a hero, right? that's what you're doing in theory, right? All right.
Oh my god.
And so those
You cut out, Freezy.
those guys that we
okay,
don't
never mind.
like.
You good, Freezy. Go ahead.
So the guys off the bench that we don't like playing together, what you do is now you have Precious Achua on a second unit with Kevin Love, right? And so what happens is, regardless who you put on the floor with Kevin Love and Precious Achua, you're going to have 2 energy big on the floor with the skilled big on the floor, right? To make up for the deficiencies of both, right? Because Kevin Love is an old, skilled player, but a high volume rebounder that knocks down threes. And Precious Achua is a bull in the china shop, right?
Right.
Right. And then also, what happens is you have the best outletting big man in NBA history, grabbing rebounds and looking to outlet the
Second
ball,
best.
or second best, third best, fourth best, but he's up there, right? to Josh Hart, who is best in transition.
Right.
Am I right? Is Josh Hart not best in transition?
He is best in transition. 100%.
Right. So now,
but I'm saying his best isn't that great. That's all I'm saying.
but I'm not calling him Scottie Pippen. I'm saying the best version of Josh Hart is what you're getting. Right. You're getting the best version of Josh Hart, and then also what you also get in that, right, is when Josh Hart because we don't want Kevin Love defending fives at all. We don't want him defending fours. We actually don't want him defending, period, right? But at the same time, Kevin Love is now going to be defending second unit bigs that are not good as starting bigs. Right. And then what happens is when the opportunity for us to go small is presented to us, we could play Kevin Love at center, not Randall. Right. So you can go, in theory, your small lineup, and hear me out on it because it's going to sound weird when I say it. But in theory, your small ball lineup is Kevin Love at the 5, Randall at the 4, OG at the 3, and DiVincenzo at the 2, and Brunson at point, right?
Mm.
You
Right.
only downsized a little bit, but you only downsized in size a little bit at the 5, but you still get all the benefits from a small ball lineup,
Mm.
right? Where you get the 5 out where everybody can dribble, pass, and shoot, right? You can't
Well,
double team
Josh Hart
Randall.
can't shoot.
No, I didn't
No,
mention
you
him in
got
this.
Hero, right?
And yeah, I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, I'm
you
sorry.
talking
I'm
about the
sorry. I'm
starting line.
sorry. I meant to say Hero instead of DiVincenzo. I'm sorry. You're right. EG. Thank you for helping me on that.
Right.
So your 5 in a small ball lineup is Brunson, Hero, OG, Randall, Kevin Love. In the small ball lineup, right? So now you can't double team anybody. If you ever double team Randall, you have Tyler Hero, Jalen Brunson, and Kevin Love spotted up on the perimeter with OG Anunoby and one of his favorite corners, whichever corner you want to put, he wants to go in, right? So if you ever attempt to, now it's one of those things where you have to sit there and take it, right? You have to let Randall beat up all your power forwards because if you give Kevin Love a wide open 3, you're asking to get blown out. If you give Tyler Hero wide open 3s all night, you're asking to be blown out, right? You give Jalen Brunson at the moment. Jalen Brunson, well, not at this moment, but last year, from January 1st to December 31st, Jalen Brunson shot 46% from on spot up 3s, right?
So my only issue with that lineup is that there's only one positive defender.
Right.
So I just feel like it would just get blown out defensively.
Do you play small? Do you play small ball for defense though?
No, you play it when you want to lose.
No, you play it when you want to.
That's
you play it
Tibbs'
when
mindset.
no, you go small when you want to generate offense.
Right. Well,
I think the like for relatively speaking, I guess in today's NBA, when teams want to go small, they also want to have like a couple guys that are two-way players in that rotation of smalls, and you play a switching defense, which Tibbs is averse to, unfortunately.
yeah. And he doesn't play a switching defense at all.
But Tibbs has never had Brunson, Hero, Love, Randall, and OG at the same time. Right? Am I wrong? Is Tibbs
But
ever
the
had
only
How is-
Freezy, but Freezy, I'll say this: that the thing like OG will get hurt in 7 minutes trying to cover up for all the deficiencies that we're seeing,
No.
like in terms of all those blow bys to the rim.
Nah, man. He's
layups. I see the layups.
I think y'all are saying that because y'all don't like it.
I see the layups, man.
No.
Man.
I like the idea.
I
like the
was
idea
going
of
at
playing
Evan
small ball.
Fournier in the deal. Like after
I,
he airballed that freak that layup, man, nobody signing off on it.
I like the idea. I just don't like the players in it together. Like it's not synergistic. Like to be absolutely
Sabotage
honest,
yourself.
to be absolutely honest,
You
Rudy, the
hadn't
reason-
seen it together. That's what I'm saying. How can we say that when you've never seen it?
I'm only going by what I know or what my impression is. Like you have your impression of what that would
Right?
be.
Have you seen Duncan Robinson play with a point guard like Jalen Brunson? I mean, Tyler Hero play with a point guard like Jalen Brunson? No, you have not. Right? Have you seen? Think about
It's
this.
easy. It's easier for me to say it won't work on defense than it is to say on offense. Like I think you're saying like we'll probably be so potent offensively that it won't matter that we're terrible on defense.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that Tyler Hero and Kevin Love gives you offensive flexibility. That's why I mentioned the bench first before I mentioned the
I
starters.
don't know. Tyler Hero's averaging 23 points per game. They're probably not going to trade him as a starter.
But remember, they're not trading. We're not giving them Evan Fournier, right? They're getting Donovan Mitchell. If you're saying that Miami won't upgrade Tyler Hero to Donovan Mitchell so they can have Spider, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo, I think that's short-sighted.
They will.
Yeah, they would definitely. Pat Riley would do it in a heartbeat. I just don't know how.
Right, and
beneficial
then
it is
on the
for us.
Cleveland, and then think about this on the Cleveland side of it, right? You know, free agents are not going to sign with Cleveland, not major free agents, right? So to ease the loss of Donovan Mitchell, you give them Zach LaVine, right? right? Because
I
nobody's signing.
Freezy, I already know Easy doesn't like Zach Levine. I could tell with his face.
But
He just
but
doesn't
no,
like
but
Zach.
no, I'm speaking. But listen, I'm
It's so much negative. Every year he's a negative, man.
but so what? It's Cleveland is trying to get something. They're gonna lose Donovan Mitchell, right?
Yeah,
And they
but
want
they
to
have one
get
more year with him.
Yeah, they want to get something because the owner already said we're not going to be held hostage by a dude that may walk out the door or may not. He already said that. So that's what.
LeBron gave him PTSD.
Yeah, that's the reason why. That's the reason why you hear all the rumors. And if you're Chicago, you get expiring salary, right, from Grimes and Fournier, because it's Fournier this year, you terminate his team option, and it's Grimes next year, right? You could just let him walk out the door for nothing, right? But what Chicago gets is draft picks in a scenario where they're rebuilding, right?
Draft picks provided by the Knicks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't oppose having a Tyler Hero here, but I would. I'm
But
probably.
you would have to
I
start
probably.
him. You would have to
Yeah,
start Tyler Hero.
I would start him, but I wouldn't. I would. I would definitely try to keep positive. I would keep OG in the starting lineup, obviously,
Of course.
and try to
Obviously.
have as much. Hopefully, Randall locks in defensively. Randall was pretty solid tonight defensively.
Yeah, he was.
But Dre, you know what? But I think y'all are sleeping on the win on behalf of the Knicks, right? What happens is if you trade for Donovan Mitchell or Zach Levine, you know Zach Levine, you're gonna have to pay 40 plus million.
Right.
Donovan Mitchell, he's getting the max from from whoever, right? But in that $50 million window, you know what you're getting? You're getting Tyler Hero locked in for his money right now. And then that way you can still extend extend OG Anunoby for 20 something, whatever million, 29, 30, whatever.
He's getting 30 something.
Yeah, right. So you extend him at that. And so what that does is it locks up the superstar space, but you have OG and Tyler Hero, and then now you can extend Randall and Brunson with no issue.
Are you going to max Randall and Brunson?
It
Brunson
depends.
is probably going to get maxed. I don't know if Randall's going to get. If you ask me, like,
yeah, well, you have to max. Like he's all NBA multiple years.
If I'm looking Tiona leaves and Randall switched agencies, by the way, he's not taking a discount, and I don't know if this cheap front office is like, yo, let's give Randall $60 million a year.
But the thing about it is,
I didn't even think about that.
But the thing about that though is for one, if Randall makes the All-Star team and All NBA again under this regime, and you undercut him, right? You're like, nah, we only gonna pay you 23 million or 33 million. Right. So whatever the number is.
If they came to him with 45 million a year, it would probably be an undercut for his resume, to be absolutely honest.
Right. And is that the message that you want to send stars around the league that had been looking at New York as a place that they may consider? Right? Because if you undercut a 3-time All NBA player, right, what do you do? What are you going to do with a guy that you don't know? So you can't send that message. It's the reason why they gave RJ the extension. It's like RJ may have not been in the long-term plan, but you can't send a negative message out there that you're going to dangle, you're going to do your players like that. Because in theory, the Knicks are trying to rehab their image, right? So if you want to,
you can get that.
But hold on, Freezy. The Celtics do players foul all the time.
but they don't do multiple time All-Star.
Yeah, and they built their team through the draft. They didn't get anybody in free agency. Like really,
I mean,
they got people through the draft and through the trades. No one wanted to go to Boston. Like it was all like they built it through the draft and through trades, and they just extended the guys that they drafted.
To this point, also, with all of that said, Randall still may be the best player on the team, right? But when you're looking at a Robert Williams, when they were talking extension and all that stuff, Robert Williams may have been the 4th, 5th best player on that team. So you can lowball him. But do you think they lowballed Jaylen Brown? No, absolutely not. They cut the check. They were like the only player that we would even consider thinking about a trade for him is KD, right? And then when the news, and you notice when the news slipped out that that they would offer Jaylen Brown in a KD trade, they
Brad,
gave Jaylen Brown the
Brad Stevens
biggest
jumped out
contract.
the window. Brad Stevens jumped out the window. Like, yo,
Yep, we
but
gave him the biggest contract in NBA history.
you know what's funny? Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but when his prior contract, people were like, "Why the hell would you give Jaylen Brown $94 million?"
Right,
I
right.
don't know. People overreacted to that then, and then now when you see the context going further and further, like the money is getting astronomical at this point. So,
Man, I can't wait to see Hardenstein block Jaylen Brown in the finals. In the West, in
What-
Eastern Conference
oh,
Finals. It's gonna be
I was
so
about to
much
say
fun.
the finals. Then he must have been traded to the West.
Eastern Conference Finals. It's gonna be so much fun. He's gonna do it 2 times. Oh,
Well,
so good. I can see it. I can
So
see
this is
it.
the trade that I mentioned is the only big trade I see that makes sense.
I
A
think
14 blockbuster trade where
I think it
all
makes
the
sense
people
to
that are looking
trade
to
for
move.
Murray, right? DeJounte Murray. I think that makes sense. Am I
No.
I
crazy
think,
with that?
but here's the thing for you: like those big blockbuster trades between multiple teams, they usually happen in the off season. Teams don't do 3-team deals in the
Yeah,
middle of the
yep.
season.
It's rare,
3-4
but they
team
do.
deals
They
in the
do
middle.
sometimes.
It happens, but usually none of the like the last time I seen like a big 3-4 team deal, like none of them were actual contenders. Like the Heat view themselves as a contender right now. Well, but they view themselves as a contender at all times. So
Dre, then this front office has done 2 14 trades in season since they've been here.
and were we contenders at that time? At
No.
any point?
No,
Okay.
but no. But the thing is we're talking about, did it occur? If did it happen? Yes, it happened. Right.
Yeah, it
And
happened.
my thing, and the other thing too is that was then. Now you're operating with a new CBA that restricts a lot of stuff, right? And so in theory, it seems like, well, since this new CBA is in place, then everybody should wait to the summer. Nah, teams with the advantage are going to look to move guys when they have the advantage. You can't wait on a bidding war that may never come, right? And the reason why I say that is because I saw the Damian Lillard bidding war play out live, and he wound up in Milwaukee,
Right.
right? You know what I'm saying? I'm watching the Zach LaVine bidding war right now that is fizzling out.
There is no bidding war.
Right.
No,
That's
there's
what
a
I'm
bidding
saying.
war. There is a
That's what I'm
bidding war.
saying.
I mean, you mean a lowballing war?
What? Well, yeah, and
No, they're
yeah,
gonna get something for Zach LaVine. They're gonna
Oh
get
yeah, but they're not gonna get like
there
three
are
protectors
there are 2 stupid teams that are going to trade for Zach LaVine, and they're just going to like pretend that he's good.
Oh, you're talking
Yeah.
about the Lakers.
no, I'm telling you, bro.
There are 2 teams that are going to drive up the price on each other.
I'm telling you, bro. It's the Cleveland Cavaliers, bro, because they're in a position
No, I think
of
Cleveland's
depth
too
of.
smart. I think Cleveland's too smart for that. I
Nah, bro.
honestly do. I do. I think they're too smart for it.
Nah, bro. They're in that
Kobe,
weird perfect.
what's his name? Their GM Kobe. He's a
Kobe
smart guy
Altman.
too. Yeah, he's
No, but
okay.
bro, the guy that didn't extend Caruso for like no, that guy's not smart, man. That's not. They didn't want to sign Caruso to $10 million. Like, come on, that's not.
Whoa, they had it. Well, Cleveland had a chance at Caruso.
No.
Oh, Kobe
No.
Altman.
I thought you meant the Lakers guy.
No.
Kobe
Kobe.
Altman's pretty
Yeah,
intelligent.
that's what. Yeah. Not the Lakers. I'm talking about Kobe
He
Altman.
traded for Hardenstein, so
Yeah, but I think what y'all are missing is I think every front office is smart, right?
no,
You don't put
I
dummies
don't
in a
believe that.
front office,
No,
right?
I don't believe that at all. I think
Right.
there are dummies in the front office.
No, I
I
don't
believe
think
that.
so, bro.
No, I think there are. I think there
These
are.
guys have too much college education and too much experience to be idiots, bro.
But
You-
here's the thing,
but
though. Like, not
but
everyone is going to be the top. Not
but
everybody's
what
going to be the valedictorian, though. Like,
Yeah.
relatively, some
The
are
smartest
better than the
person
other.
isn't the one that always makes the decisions.
but see, that's what I'm talking about. With
It's the
what
person with
AG
most
14,000
talent.
just said.
Yeah.
If you're Cleveland, you're in a situation where you have to do something, bro. Because if you feel like
you don't have to do something,
bro,
you just
can you
because they're
you-
injured.
Can you
Cleveland's
just hear my
injured right
point?
now.
Can you hear my point before you judge it, bro?
Hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, can you just hear me out on it? Listen, Cleveland is in a situation where everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people feel as if Donovan Mitchell is going to leave in free agency. And if you're Cleveland, Ohio, if you're Northern Cleveland, right? What do you offer to a free agent in any sport? the Guardians, the Browns, the Cavaliers, or whatever. You don't
Money.
have anything to
The
offer,
Cleveland skyline is wonderful.
right? The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, is that what you're gonna offer somebody? And so my point is and is the owner already mandated that he is not gonna let a pending free agent hijack his franchise. He already said that. That's on public record, right? So the longer this thing plays out, the more a smart guy, Kobe Altman, is going to be under pressure to make a move to replace the guy that he knows is going to leave. That's what I'm.
I
And,
will
and
say
if
that,
you
that that's
and if
happened.
you're Chicago, if you're AK and you're Billy Donovan, and you see your team is playing better without Zach LaVine, right? All it's doing is driving down the market value of Zach LaVine, right? So if you're Miami, why not take the chance on Donovan Mitchell,
I
right?
was gonna
And
I was
and
gonna
then
say
if you're
Freezy.
Cleveland, why not take a chance on Zach LaVine to fill in that space that's occupied, right?
I'll say this Freezy. Like I've seen historically teams when they let a guy go or they know that guy is gonna go, they like pivot and panic. And you like look like OKC for example, they let Harden go and they went and got Kevin Martin, and
Oh
it just
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
they tried to replace that production, and it didn't work. But I understand like the logic from the front office. Like you can't just lose a, so much production. You got to replace at least 70% of it, 80% of it. You got to get something back, right?
But Cleveland's
Right.
so young though. It's different for them because they're such a young team and they have so many injuries right now.
They're
So you
so
don't
young,
really
but
know.
Garland is still on a max as we speak,
Right.
and
Garland's on the
Mobley's gonna
max.
get paid as pretty
Right.
soon.
And that's their kind of core. Like it's Mobley, Garland, and it's really just
Center.
Mobley and Garland.
So
And
my question to y'all, so because y'all are talking surface level NBA stuff in general, and I get it, right? But if Donovan Mitchell quits basketball today, who is Cleveland's backup shooting guard? Who are they going to replace him with?
uh
Porter?
Porter,
Porter
Porter,
Jr.?
yeah, Porter.
Yeah. You feel
That
me?
Porter kid.
Max Struess?
Max.
I will
I
say that Porter kid is nice though. He's
right.
not a two, but he's nice. He's like he's. I don't know
Right.
how he got undrafted. They probably had like a
Look,
wink, wink,
they're
hush,
fine.
hush, like don't draft me. I'm going to this team type deal.
Right. And,
The Cavs?
but yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It happens all across the league. A lot of
they
the
probably
like
promised him
undrafted
minutes.
guys.
They're like, yo, you
Mhm.
can make the roster. We'll try to get you in a rotation, or you can go play in the G League somewhere.
There's
Right.
multiple like guys that could or should have been drafted in the NBA and wind up undrafted because they already had like a promise, and they tell their agents or they tell teams, "Yo, don't draft me. I'm going to this organization as an
Right.
undrafted free agent."
Right.
It happens every summer.
That makes sense.
Not all the time that it pans out, but it's like guys picking where they want to go or they have a promise like they'll be developed
So
year prior.
what's the alternative though? What's the alternative for the Knicks? Then is it just go get DeJounte Murray?
Do you think Leon Rose is spiteful enough to not help the
I
Heat get their guy?
I honestly think Rosa is making a lot of like I think Rosa was a big influence in the RJ Barrett
Oh,
trade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gerson
because
Rosas.
he was promoted to vice president of basketball operations before the season, and the moment I saw that he was promoted to a position of power, I knew RJ was gone. Like I just knew because he was such an analytics guy. I just knew that.
Oh,
Yeah.
so if he so Hartenstein is definitely getting re-signed. Is what you're saying?
Wait, say that again.
Because he's the analytics guy.
Well, yeah, Rosa
Hartenstein is definitely gonna get re-signed.
100%. He's going to be a Nick, and he's going to be a Nick. I don't know how it's going to happen. They're going to do something with, but after they win the championship, they're going to resign Hardenstein. Um,
From your lips to God's ears, man.
Yeah,
yeah,
Jokic is all right, bro. For us, he'd be a six man.
he would
He'd
be
be coming
because
up.
no rim protection,
Yeah,
no
he'd
rim
be coming up.
protection.
He'd be coming off the bench behind Hartenstein.
Oh, but
Tibbs, there's no rim protection. You can't, and you know with Brunson, he wouldn't pass the ball to Jokic, obviously. So, uh,
I think, bro, Brunson. I know. Jamal Murray is very good for Jokic, But I think Brunson and Jokic type like battery would be ridiculous. Personally,
Brunson and Jokic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Brunson has the ability to play off ball, and he shoots a ridiculous clip off catch and shoots. Like he doesn't play off ball on this team because number one, Tibbs doesn't value that. Tibbs just values high usage, which is why the RJ had the ball a ton. Like he values 3 to 4 guys getting high usage and playing a ton of isolation basketball. But I think Brunson actually has the basketball IQ to play in any other type of system. He's just in this role where he has to be this high usage guy to get these numbers because Tibbs doesn't know how to idealize
No,
or actualize like these
I'm
these advanced analytic numbers without doing it from high usage. Like
I'm always like a little risky putting Jokic next to a smaller guard,
right
just in
because
general.
he's not a defender. Yeah,
Well, no,
yeah.
he's a great positional defender. You just want like
He's a
good
team
perimeter
defense
defense.
guy.
Yeah, he's a team defense guy, which is actually more valuable than one-on-one defense. Team defense is
But Murray
more
can do a
valuable,
bit of
but
both without
uh,
being a complete
so I don't
sieve.
know. Yeah,
Like Murray can play team defense
has
and
no offensive imagination.
hold his own on defense at least.
Yeah, I agree with that. Tibbs has no offensive imagination. I, but maybe somebody in his staff does, and they'll talk to him. I don't know.
And when
It's a
Tibbs
team.
gets fired and we get
No,
Johnny Bryant to be the
Tibbs is
coach,
not getting
maybe
fired, bro, ever.
he's gonna
Like
get elevated to the front office.
he's gonna get
There's
elevated
chance.
to the front office. If anything happens, he's gonna be in the front office.
But like I'm being so real, like we do value advanced analytics here, but the process to get to it isn't the most modern way. Like for instance, you can watch OKC play and they're playing 2024 basketball. We try to get the same shot diet as them, but underneath dated rules. So like teams know how to rotate against like the 2018 Rockets type of offense. When it's your turn, my turn, teams
Yeah.
know how to rotate. Like when you get to the playoffs, teams know how to take away the easy, simple rotation to the corner shooter. Whereas teams now, when you look around the league, the Nuggets
Well,
or
that's what
even
happened in the
OKC,
playoffs against the Heat. When you went against a good coach team, they just took it. Like Hardenstein had the lowest usage percentage of any player ever. Like he took 6 shots the entire series.
and he played
The
a lot of
entire
minutes too.
60, and he played a lot of minutes. He took 6 shots the entire series. He didn't have any turnovers or assists. He just like literally, it was just he had the
And
lowest usage percentage like ever. Uh,
he Tibbs believes in dumbing down all the way to limit turnovers, but unfortunately, the highest octane offenses always get turnovers. It's just
yeah, turnovers is
it's
part of the game.
possible.
It's
It's
mistakes
but
are part of the game.
but this is where Tibbs takes the advanced analytics approach to like the nth degree, where it's like no turnovers, a bunch of rebounds will win mathematically, but that doesn't handle the nuance part of the game where scoring actually matters. Like you have to have a top 5-ish offense to win a championship in today's game.
I remember one of the reporters asked Tibbs. He asked Tibbs about starting Sims. He said last year Sims had a negative. You talk about net rating a lot. Last year, Sims had a -10 net rating. Like why are you starting him? And then Tibbs was like, I look at wins. What was our
It-
record? I'm
he
like,
he he only
he only looks at the stats.
talks about advanced analytics when it suits his argument, right?
Right. Right.
But
Yeah.
when
But that's everybody, I guess. But
yeah, but when we talk about like what he talks about in his mind, what conventional winning is or what wins is big wings, and he thinks Josh Hart is a big wing. So he'll be like, even though the numbers say the team might be better with DiVincenzo on the court instead of Josh Hart in
no,
the
the
starting
team's
lineup.
better with Josh
No,
Hart.
no. I'm using that
Yeah.
as an example.
Yeah,
But
that's
there isn't enough data.
yeah.
Like I'm I'm speaking from the perspective of just watching the game. Coming down the stretch of that game tonight, I'm pretty sure we would have been better off with Dante on the court instead of Hart
You
coming down the
think
stretch,
so?
right? Yeah,
Mhm.
because we didn't need
Because he
the
was just
extra rebounding at that point. We just needed the extra spacing to let Randall be Randall, let Brunson be Brunson.
I don't know. I kind of liked Hart on the floor in that moment.
In that
Just
moment, maybe
because Dante DiVincenzo, he's not a good like he'll have his moments defensively, he'll get a steal, he'll gamble, but like he's not the best defensive player. And then especially when you want to like slow it down,
Again, in win share in defensive win shares, he was 11th last year in
who
the entire NBA.
Dante?
Yep.
Do you know how defensive win shares are calculated?
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care.
No.
Yeah, and the reason why I say that is because you used another complicated analytic when you mentioned Isaiah Hartenstein's
defensive
usage
EPM.
rate. No, usage rate. I'm talking
Usage
about
rate.
right now.
Oh,
Yeah, when you said he only took 6 shots, he had the lowest
yeah.
usage
He
rate. Blah,
had
blah, blah.
the lowest
And,
usage.
and when you
Yeah,
mentioned that,
he's
you
2%. It was crazy.
right, but you notice when you mentioned that, I didn't say anything, right?
Right.
Because I didn't care because of your point, because the point you were making was a good point, right? And so
Right.
what I'm saying about Dante DiVincenzo and the defensive win shares thing, I understand that it's all the advanced analytics are opinion based, formulaic
Well, no,
stuff.
the stats aren't opinion
The
based.
numbers are the numbers. How
No,
you
no. I'm not
How
saying
you use
interpret it.
them.
I'm
Is
not talking
opinion
about the
based.
participles, bro. I'm talking about which ones you add together, which one you apply to the formula. To me, is based in opinion because you're saying, okay, for defensive win
This
shares,
particular statistic
I
more
value
right.
this, I value that, I value that. So now let me come up with a formula that
Yeah.
justifies how good this player is defensively. That's the reason why I said it, not because of what you said. I don't want to disagree with you. What I'm saying
Yeah.
is that all of the advanced, like I saw, anybody saw anybody that watches baseball, you ever seen the thing VORP,
Yeah,
value over
for
value over
Replacement
replacement
player.
player,
or
right?
war.
They have the same
Yeah,
thing in
It's a little bit more
it's not as
convoluted
good.
in
It's not as
basketball
good.
because it's
Yeah,
not.
because it's
yeah.
not.
And so when you add certain things to come up with a formula to judge value, I think it's all opinion based because you value a certain thing. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the reason why I said that. Not that I want to disagree because I don't.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I want to, if you use some analytics, I want to use them all. But I don't want to pick and choose certain analytical stuff and then disagree with you on some and agree with you on others. If you're saying analytics, okay, let's use all the analytics based stuff for the argument so that we'll have a base.
Well,
That's what I'm getting at.
I mean, so the thing is, I just want to like with win shares, it's like there's a way to calculate offensive win shares and there's a way to calculate like total win shares, and defensive win shares is you take the offensive win shares and the total win shares and you minus them. So it's not actually measuring defense. But when you look at like a stat like defensive EPM, you're actually measuring uh adjusted defensive metrics based on like who's on the floor. Like so like if you play really good against LeBron, like let's say hypothetically you stay with him on a drive and then you block LeBron James, something that Mitch would have been left in the dust, then like you get extra points for that with that stat. So
Right.
and that's
But
why I
you
tend to
also
use
told me
those.
2 hours ago that you value the eye test.
I do,
Right.
yeah. I value
Right.
both. Like
Right.
you have
Right.
to use both.
Right. That's why I'm saying if you're going analytics, okay. I just want to make sure that we have a consistent argument across the board where we won't leapfrog on one side or the other so it looks like I'm just pounding the table for a certain guy.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So if we're having a conversation about analytics, I just want to accept them all, right? Or accept none. Either way, you know what I'm saying? Because we can skew the argument one way or the other
Well, not
with
all
some
analytics are created equal. Some are much more telling.
and and,
Well,
It's like saying,
some have more like correlation to winning. Like you can
yeah.
put it together, I guess. But some yeah, I understand. I understand the point that both of you have for you. Like I understand it completely, and in my mind, like when I try to calculate or have a personal opinion on a player, I try to look at analytics and the eye test, and then I also apply nuance as to the context of what I'm seeing to go with that, and that's why I'm like not the highest. And like when I talk about nuance, I'm also mentioning like what a guy makes or what you
Right.
gave up to get him.
right.
So when I
Right.
talk about these things, I'm not like dumping on Josh Hart to dump on Josh Hart. Like if Josh Hart was making $10 million for the next 5 years,
We'd be
I'd be like,
fine.
oh yeah.
If he was making if he's making $10 million over the next 2 + 1 years,
And I
I'd be
didn't give up a
fine.
first
Yeah.
rounder for him.
Yeah.
then I'll be like, whatever, cool. Like he's
Well, he's more valuable than an average first rounder. Like, let's be real. Like, he's still
yeah,
No.
but
you don't
Wait.
well,
He's
you don't
he's
think
more
Josh
valuable.
Hart's more valuable than an average first rounder? Do you know how
No.
bad average first rounders are? They're
No.
out of the
So,
league.
so okay. All
They're
right. All right. So okay. Average first rounder, pick
Is
number
out of the
15, right?
league.
Pick
Yeah.
15, right?
Pick 15.
You know who was picked with pick 15? Paul George. You know who's picked with pick 15? Kawhi Leonard. I mean, not
Giannis is
Kawhi Leonard.
15.
Giannis.
Facts.
Yeah,
I would roll
a-
the dice on a random 15 pick over Josh
yeah.
Hart.
And
Just
first
to
round
roll,
picks
just to roll the
value.
dice.
First round pick value before that pick is on the clock, it has more value than Josh Hart. But once you say that player's name at 15, then it goes in the toilet. Right. So before the pick is made, I think I'm right. After the pick is made, I'm with EG 14,000. Right. and I know that sounds crazy, right? But that's just what it is, right?
Yeah.
The reason why our first
like
round
when
pick,
you take the car off the lot.
yeah.
Who was the 15th?
Yeah, but Dre, to the
Hey,
point,
Kobe
though,
was drafted 15th.
No, Kobe was 13.
No, Kobe Bumpkin this year.
Oh, Buffkin. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Kobe Bumpkin. Yeah.
From
Yeah,
Michigan.
but to the point that you were making, Dre, about the analytics thing,
Yeah.
I think you're right with the analytics thing, right? But the eye test part is also conjecture because people have different levels of basketball
biases.
knowledge
That's
and
a great
experience.
point. That's a great point. Yeah.
Right?
And
And so when
biases,
people
yeah.
say the eye test, I'm always thinking like
That's just your
people say
opinion.
the eye test.
It's
I
just-
don't trust. That's why I always say
You don't
that
trust
every
everybody's eye.
yeah, every mall in America has an optometrist in it because people fail the eye test every day, right?
That's why
And-
busts were taken.
Yeah, and so you know, not to discredit one way or the other. I feel like we solid, right?
Yeah. By the way, do you know who's second in the NBA in defensive EPM? Just to close it because I'm probably heading out soon. Do you know who's second in the NBA in defensive EPM right now?
Jokic.
Defensive EPM.
Jokic.
Jokic has a negative defensive EPM. What are you talking about? Like, it's a good stat, man.
Josh Hart.
He's an average player.
The second player in defensive EPM right now is Joel Embiid, and they're about to play each other. Hardenstein and Joel Embiid, they're about to play. We're going to see how real Hardenstein's defensive stats are because if they're real, he will slow down. Slow down Embiid, and they will beat the Philadelphia 76ers. If they're not real, then he's going to either foul out or they're going to just destroy.
And if Joel Embiid goes for 30 and 20, next time we'll see you
next year.
Yeah.
But no, I have a feeling it's going to turn out very well. We'll see. But I have a feeling it's going to turn out very well.
Well, I have a feeling that the Knicks are going to make a major trade, and it's going to be a major Eastern Conference shift because to the point that I was going to make before we started talking about the greatness of Hartenstein is that there are about 5 teams in purgatory. There are about 5 teams trying to catch 3 teams.
Yeah.
Right. So you have your Orlando, right? You have your Knicks, you have your Indianas, and a couple of other teams.
I would put the Cavs.
Cavs. Yeah, that are trying to catch the top 3 teams in the East. And the only way that they can do that is shift the landscape, right? Because you got your Miami in the mix. You got your your Miami, your Cleveland, your Knicks, your Orlando, your Pacers. And then you have teams trying to figure it out, like your Atlantas and your Chicagos. And either they can make a go for it right now, or they can stay pat in purgatory. But if you're the Chicago Bulls fan base, do you want to stay stuck in purgatory?
They're gonna stay stuck. That's just the way they're designed. That's why they traded for Vucevic. Like they're a franchise that is constantly going to just be in purgatory.
Right. And if you're Cleveland, and you gave away all those picks for Donovan Mitchell, and you're probably in the same spot you would have been if you didn't make the trade for Donovan Mitchell, do you let Donovan Mitchell walk? And now Donovan Mitchell walked and your draft picks walked, right? And you don't have anything to show for it. right? So if you're Cleveland, do you stare that down the barrel? No. If you're Orlando and you play highly competitive games against the top seeds in the Eastern Conference and lose, right? You feel like you're one pick away. Do you stay pat or do you let your young core continue to take these lumps?
Yeah.
Right?
I think
If you're Indiana, do you legit watch one of these teams in this purgatory since trade for Pascal Siakam? Do you watch if you're Indiana, do you watch Indiana? If you're Indiana, do you watch Atlanta trade for Pascal Siakam? Right? If you're Atlanta, do you watch the Chicago Bulls trade for Pascal Siakam? Right? So there are, and then if you're the Knicks and you know that OG Anunoby is fine, but
Right.
you're redlining, and I mean redlining in terms of energy, not redlining in terms of the geopolitical whatever. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Right? You're redlining Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle right now, hoping that somebody off the bench will develop into a thing, or do you make the trade in order to get a guy so that you won't drive Brunson and Randle 110 miles per hour, so that you could just drive them 85 miles per hour and then get them to the playoffs healthy.
Right.
Yeah,
I think they're trying. That's why they extended. That's why they extended McBride, because they really do believe him. I think they'll try to believe.
I
Try
think
to
they
side
do
with him.
believe him in as well, but they're signing him to just like a really like I think Alvarado. Alvarado has a
does
contract.
McBride get you out of purgatory? No.
No, he's just a stopgap. Like,
But does Hero get you out of purgatory?
Yes.
You think Hero gets you out of purgatory? He's your hero?
Yes.
I don't know. It's like he
You
went
trade
down.
you trade a ham sandwich for a hero, bro. Of course that's an upgrade.
I would like it more if you put Josh Hart.
But here's the thing. Well, of course, right.
But
That's it.
they're not, like,
broke
that was the
Williams
point with the Villanova. They're not going to trade Josh Hart.
They're not going to trade Josh
Yeah.
Hart, right? But my point though is we know Randall and Brunson alone can get this team to the playoffs, right?
Right.
But getting to the playoffs with Brunson and Randall and Hero
Not as
and
Tim's
OG
is better.
and OG Anunoby and Hartenstein is different, right? So it's not about can they get to the playoffs? Man, Julius Randle led this team to the playoffs. Jalen Brunson helped Randle get this team to the playoffs. But now that you add an OG Anunoby and a Tyler Hero and a Kevin Love, what does that team look like in a 7-game series against somebody else compared to just Brunson, Randle, IQ, RJ, OB, whoever?
But you know what's really fascinating to me is the minutes when Sims was a starting center. Like, they were a negative 16 in the minutes. To me, that tells me that without a center, without Hardenstein, this team is nowhere. To me, without Hardenstein, this team is nothing. I'm serious. It's like we talk about the players that score all the points. They would be empty points if you didn't have Isaiah Hardenstein. Because Hardenstein's making the winning plays.
Bro.
Hold on.
He makes the winning plays. Like,
it
It wasn't Hartenstein. It was Emmanuel quickly.
Hold on. It's
Was it?
Hold on. It's not necessarily that Hartenstein doesn't have an impact, but it's like if you remove Julius Randle from this team and just had Hartenstein and
Hartenstein would break out quicker. Like,
you break out quicker.
I'm serious.
But you're completely diminishing. You're completely diminishing.
You would be fine.
Raw.
You would be fine if Randall went off the team. You would be fine because you have Hardenstein. You would just give Hardenstein more minutes. You would give Hardenstein more usage.
So you think Hardenstein would score 25 points per game?
Yeah, he would. He would.
No, he wouldn't.
He would.
So EJ, okay. So you cut me off when I was trying to end it. I guess you cut me off when I was trying to cut y'all off. So all right. So my bad. But what I'm saying to you is I'm not saying that Hartenstein is a bad player. What I'm saying is let's do it by levels, right? Jericho Sims versus an average NBA center,
right?
If the Knicks had an average NBA center in those scenarios, the Knicks
I think
better.
they'd be a -5.
I think they'd be. I think
maybe
average NBA center. Who is a top 15 NBA center right now?
Jakob Poeltl.
Jakob Pertl.
Oh, Pirtle. Yeah, the
Pirtle.
Knicks are a plus if
You
they
think
had
the
if they had Pirtle.
plus? I think it's a neutral, maybe 0. I think they're like a 500, maybe like
They're definitely
38
better.
win.
They're definitely better than when Sims is in the game. Right
Yeah.
now, I think right now Hartenstein is playing above above average NBA center type
Top 10
of.
center he's playing
Yeah,
right now.
okay, that's a stretch, but okay.
No, it
All right.
is. It is. He just got 20 rebounds and 5 blocks.
Against
Like,
who?
come on.
Who did he play against?
The game before that, he got 3 blocks and 3 steals against the top team
10.
in the West. Come on.
So he's in the
I
Anthony
think,
Davis category.
here's the thing. Here's the
He's
caveat.
in a
I think
Joel Embiid. He's a
Isaiah.
top 10 center like Joel Embiid.
I think
He's
Isaiah
more. He's
Hartenstein
closer.
plays.
To me, he's
EG,
closer to a Bam Adebayo, but better in every single way than Bam Adebayo.
and EG, this is
Yeah,
my
you gotta
thing.
relax, bro.
This is my thing. I think
He's
Isaiah
like
Hartenstein
Bam.
plays
I
better
think he's
against.
Bam Adebayo, but he's better rebounder. He has a better touch around the basket. He has a
No,
better.
he doesn't
He's a
have better
better
touch.
No,
passer.
he don't.
He does. He does. He just
He
hasn't shown
can't.
it,
That
but he
man
does.
can't even. He can't even fart better than Bam Adebayo, bro. We gotta relax.
He
But
has a better touch.
Easy, did you watch
He
the last
does.
game where he did a fake and then turned around to nobody and
I
threw up
saw that.
like come on, man.
I
Like
saw that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But
I,
this is my thing with Isaiah Hartenstein. I think Isaiah Hartenstein performs better with traditional centers on the
no,
floor.
he performs better when he has confidence in himself,
No,
and he
no,
just
no,
doesn't
no,
have that.
Oh,
but
now we got to give a grown man a virtual hug. Now we got to give a grown ass man orange slices, bro.
he needs to
man.
have his
Come
own
on, bro.
confidence.
Yeah,
Can't like he better have the confidence because he's gonna
he
play the
will.
next 50 games. So,
If he needs expression.
but
No. I'm telling you.
14,000. I'm a believer.
I'm
I'm
a
a
believer.
believer.
Just wait. You guys haven't seen anything yet. It's
I
coming.
could have sworn
It's
it's
coming.
like deja vu.
It's coming. I'm
It's
telling
like
you. It took longer than I wanted it to. It took longer, but it's coming.
the season-ending surgery
Right.
you were predicting on Mitch last year happened this year.
Yeah. The season
that voodoo doll that you had, bro, is defective.
it's giving the Knicks a championship. You're about to win a championship.
Yeah, very superstitious.
But I'm saying like Jokic was very effective almost immediately.
Yeah.
But he didn't win a championship almost immediately. It takes an entire team to win a championship.
Yeah, it takes the entire team.
So like Hartenstein isn't this player without flaw. He's not Superman. He can do a lot, but
Can
the
he be?
championship
He's
part,
not
I don't
Superman.
know.
Can he be Superman lover?
Superman lover.
Yeah. He's not Superman. Can he be Superman lover?
I'm saying like
He has a mixed view of
he's very very good. I'll say he is very very good, but it takes a lot to win a championship.
Just wait. We'll see what happens with him against the Embiid.
No, we're not holding. No, we're not holding our breath. Chat, I'm advising you not to hold your breath.
We'll see what happens.
Jokic won 2 whole MVPs, but and he dragged his team into the playoffs.
Like he would have went to the finals in 2020 if they were healthy. But then obviously Murray got injured. And
that's exactly my point. There's health and there's other things that go into it. Coaching, nuance,
or except for president.
He would have made it there earlier if it wasn't for health, but health is part of the things that happen in the NBA. So just because a guy is very good doesn't mean
I ain't buying it, Dre. I ain't buying that, Dre. Because the thing is, how do you say if they're healthy they make it, discounting what other teams that could have been healthy too? Come on, bro. We gotta
exactly.
Yeah, come on, bro. We gotta they won it on their timetable, bro. They won it. Let's give them credit, right? I don't want to dismiss the goodness of other teams, right? They won. Yeah. That's like saying if Rondo wouldn't hit all those threes, Miami would have won. But Rondo did hit all those threes. Yeah, and the Lakers won. So yeah,
and to be absolutely honest, Jokic is better now than he was when he won his MVPs anyway. So
he alright, bro. He alright.
In my mind, he's better now than when he won his MVPs.
He's butter now. Yeah.
Those 3-point shots are so butter, man. I still remember them.
And you got to account for a guy reaching his prime. That also means something.
But what Brunson said at the end of the game. Did you hear what he said? To quote,
I know.
They asked about Hardenstein after his performance, and he said he has a good mindset. We expect him to do it again. And that's basically. Let me see. I think I quoted him. Let me see if I can find the exact quote. Let me see. He said, and I quote. Give me a second. Where is it? I can't find it. Oh, I expect more next game. That's Brunson. I expect more next game. That's the exact quote.
Well, if he gets 10 and 20 on Joel Embiid with 5 blocks, we're talking about we might
Bill
have to pay
Russell.
him. You might have to pay him $30 million plus a year.
Right. And that's why the next game against the 76ers, this is the real test. Like, it's been fun. It was okay. He did it against Joel Embiid. He did it against Rudy Gobert, whatever. Blocking Rudy Gobert is no big deal. Let's be real. He did it against the Bulls, whatever.
Andre Drummond.
Can he do it against Embiid?
Well, he's the best. Well, arguably the best player in the world.
I do feel like we gotta relax. Rudy Gobert is a Hall of Fame level center. I mean, we gotta relax, bro. Come on. I mean,
not offensively.
Not offensively, but
yeah, man. But Ben Wallace is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but blocking Ben Wallace is not that impressive.
No, I'm talking about Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame is the point of emphasis,
yeah.
Not defense. I'm just saying.
So you have to at least honor. Well, Rudy Gobert should know a lot about rim protection. He got blocked
because if that's the case, Bill Russell shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
No, yeah. So we'll see what happens. I think the 76ers game will tell us everything. It'll tell us everything we need to know. If he struggles, we might need to wait.
Freezy, would you put OG on Tyrese Maxey at the beginning of the game?
No. I'm putting Dante DiVincenzo on him, and then I'm gonna put OG on Tobias Harris.
I think Grimes would guard Tyrese Maxey better than Dante. But Grimes is such a negative on off. Well,
yeah.
Right now I guess he's in his own world offensively.
Yeah, and I don't want to disrupt the man.
Dante is shooting damn near 50% from three at the moment. So
I want to have Grimes build back up his confidence on the bench away from pressure. Right. I don't even want to put him in those pressure situations. I want him to progress along on the bench. And I know I'm not the one for virtual hugs. I'm not a virtual hug guy. Right, because Grimes is a millionaire living in Manhattan or working in Manhattan, so I'm not trying to give him virtual hugs because he's living the life, right? But excuse me, if we're talking about long-term stuff, a lot of that man to kind of get his confidence back off the radar.
Yeah, because he's just been going down. Like we wanted him to have an upward trajectory, and he's had the opposite of that. But a lot of that, again, I can't get over how great that RJ Barrett trade was. Like, it was just so insanely great.
Raptors fans seem to love it.
Yeah, Raptor fans will love it for like 2 games they're winning, and then they'll go on a 10-game losing streak, and then like they'll hate everybody.
I don't think Quickly will allow them to have a 10-game.
No, they're gonna have a 10-game losing streak.
So EG 14,000. I have another channel, right? It's called the Chop It Up Podcast, right? And I am about to list the guards that I think Emmanuel Quickly will be better than next year, and your man Jamal Murray may be on that list.
You think he'll be better than Jamal Murray? He's a really good defensive player. The problem with Quickly to me is he will never be great because he's not a good cutter. Well, he doesn't generate easy offense that way.
I got you. But here's the thing. You say that based off of what he did in an offense that limited that for a lot of people, right? In two games in Toronto, you've already seen him do things that he did not do historically in the Knicks. For one, he is throwing cross-court passes with the opposite hand and opposite foot, which to me signals that you are an elite level passer. Right? When you can draw the closeout with your body in the ball and pass around this person to a guy that is occupying the evacuated space by the defender, that means there's a level of playmaking that you can get
Yeah.
to. Now, it's a tiny sample size. I'm not saying that he's that guy, right? What I'm saying is at least he can think the game at another level. So if he can think it at another level, I think the playmaking will come along, right?
Right.
Two, he's on a new team and has supplanted the starter, a long-term veteran in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
Brand new, day one
Schroeder.
starter, new team, no training camp, none of
Right.
that. He's the starter, and his backup is Dennis Schroeder.
I don't.
That tells you off rip that Emmanuel Quickly coming off our bench was a top 30 point guard in the NBA, right? And I know that sounds like projection and conjecture, right? But once he left our bench, he went to another team and became one of 30, right? A starting point guard in the NBA, one of 30, right?
No.
There are things to and Monday night that I saw, right? Emmanuel Quickly's willingness to be an orchestrator over scoring, right? I saw him kick out to Scotty Barnes in the corner for 3. And while Scotty Barnes is not Klay Thompson, but the willingness to share the ball lets me know. And for anybody out there, I attribute your willingness to pass to your ability of becoming great. And I know everybody don't agree. I know everybody wants to see buckets. Everybody's like, "Oh, buckets, buckets, buckets. How much should he score? Did he?" And I get it. I understand because that's the base. That's the base level stuff. My thing is can you be a willing passer even when can you invest in somebody else getting their game going even when you feel like you are hot right now? I think that's what Quickly can do. Right? I hadn't seen the game in total tonight, right? I'll go back and watch it because what I'm going to do is this, right? I want to do a GOAT EG 14,000. Have you ever engaged in the NBA all-time best player conversation?
Yes. Yeah. I have.
Is it not frustrating?
It is frustrating. It's so.
Is it not hypocritical? People bring up a lot of imaginary stuff,
Yeah.
like no standard. There's like no like if it's analytics based, let's have it be analytics based, right?
Right.
Or if it's the eye test, let's just go by the eye test, right?
But there's no standard for it.
There's no standard.
It's all
for it.
subjective, and it's all like you're basically arguing over nothing. It's like
Right.
yeah.
And so I'm gonna do that conversation on the Checkball podcast, right? I'm gonna have that conversation, but what I want to do is have it be solely analytics based.
Solely analytics based.
Yep. Solely advanced analytics based.
So
That way,
Jokic is the best player of all time. I love it. I love it.
Hey man, so we can add players to the conversation. Because Dre, if I asked you who the GOAT is, right? When people say the GOAT, there's probably three names.
Knee-jerk Michael Jordan.
Who Michael Jordan? You said? I'm sorry.
I said like the knee-jerk reaction is
Michael Jordan. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of the legacy and he's
off court and on court stuff.
Everything.
Right, but not his win-loss record without Scottie Pippen. Nobody ever brings that up.
No one ever does. It's not good. It's not good.
It's not good at all, bro. It's not good at all, bro. Right. And so people bring up LeBron won 4 championships in 3 different cities and he always depended on others. But then when you think about it, did you just say that man won 4 championships for 3 different franchises with 3 different cores? Is that not impressive?
What did you go to, like 10 straight finals or something?
Was he not the guy that ended 3 dynasties in the Eastern Conference by himself? Did he not help snuff out the Jermaine O'Neal Indiana Pacers? Did he not snuff out the Tayshaun Prince and Ben Wallace Pistons? Did he not help snuff out the Ray Allen Boston Celtics? All in one lifestyle, all in one span in Cleveland? I mean, we got to keep it a stack, bro. We got to add others to the conversation.
Yes.
So you're welcome. You're welcome to join if you want to have an analytic conversation. But if you're just gonna, you know what I'm saying, fly by the seat of your pants, bro, I'm gonna keep it a stack. You're not welcome.
Well, I got, yo, Judge, can I say one thing?
Yeah, sure.
Even LeBron, Kobe, Michael have a lower EPM than my boy Isaiah Hartenstein.
The GOAT.
Because the stat didn't exist.
And Wiz, all I'm gonna say is Deuce McBride watches this at night, right?
My boy, yes.
You can only
I know
have
he
one
does.
boy, bro. You can only have one boy,
Wait,
bro.
Deuce McBride watches us? No, there's no way.
Yeah.
This is my boy, man. I'll follow him on
No. Starting in lane 6 of the backstroke.
What?
Wiz.
Deuce is KP is CP3
2.0. You
You
just said your boy Hartenstein, bro.
No, I'm not saying his EPM. No, I'm not saying he's just Hartenstein because his EPM is high as Hartenstein's.
Yeah.
Hartenstein's EPM is the ultimate.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
and I believe in it.
my boy. I'm just saying.
EG, I believe in it, man. I believe in it.
It's coming. It's coming. The skill sets never disappeared. He was injured. His confidence took a hit, but the skill set was always
confidence,
His
but really,
IQ is
really,
on the chart.
People don't-
really.
people don't
Now we gotta
understand-
put a Band-Aid on his boo-boo, bro.
with Jokic, there was a period of time where Jokic had the mentality of a role player, where every single thing it was just role player. It was his mentality, and he would have this skill set, but he would just never take the shot. I think there was a game he only took one shot the entire game, and it was just. There's this mentality. I think they asked Hardenstein about what the biggest adjustment is. He said, "I'm not used to playing 30 minutes every single game. Like he's not used to having an actual opportunity. So now now that he has an opportunity to show his skill set, you're going to see something you've never seen before. And you're going to see.
I'd trade Hartenstein for Trey Murphy right now. Wouldn't bat a damn eyelash, bro. I wouldn't, bro. Man,
And your team would lose every single game after that.
What
happened? I thought Brunson. We gotta trade Brunson. We gotta trade Randall. We gotta.
By the way,
this team is not working.
Real quick question.
That's what would happen.
Real quick question, Freezy. The top 20 center combinations, starter and backup. How many of them have a total salary combined of $22 million?
I don't know.
Starters and backup. I don't know. Clue.
Most of them are above it, right? So the starter alone
Pirtle makes $20 million.
Right.
Exactly.
Pirtle makes $20 million.
So which means
Hardenstein's better than Pirtle.
We're paying iHeart and Mitch like we have a starting, leading, a superstar center in both of them combined. That's why he got $8 million.
No, that's not.
The reason he got $8 million was because number one, he was analytics darling. He's one of the best backup centers.
Yeah,
and Mitch
one
is
of the best.
prone.
He is the best.
And Mitch
now he's going to be now that he's a starter, the backup label is going to die. It is slowly dying. You're already feeling it die. You're already feeling the backup label. Wait, he just had 20 rebounds and 5 blocks. You're already feeling. You're starting to feel it die, right?
So did Andre Drummond, bro.
Andre Drummond had 24 and 20
with negative 20. Hardenstein was a plus 30. That he was winning. He gets stats and he wins, right? And that's the difference with Hardenstein. He's always won at every single place he's played. He's won.
No, he has not, bro.
Yes, he has. He's been positive at every single place he's played.
Well, positive and one are two different things.
When you're positive, you're winning. That's what positive means.
No, that's not.
You can say the same thing about Dante DiVincenzo and fucking.
What? No,
that's not totally.
You can say the same thing about Quickly. Quickly has been wins whenever he plays.
Quickly,
and it's actually 2 games in a row. RJ has a negative plus minus in the first 2 games, and Quickly has a positive plus minus in the first 2 games.
He led his team to plus minus.
Wow,
so it's actually quite funny. And they're both starting, so it's like
they're a backcourt, bro. That's the backcourt.
I predict iHeart will have triple doubles of
points,
blocks, rebounds in the next game.
Blocks?
Next game against? Can you imagine his first triple double against?
Exactly.
Oh,
wow.
Man,
because his triple double's coming.
Maybe quadruple double in the next year.
Ooh, next year. I think it makes sense for the quadruple double to happen next year.
Yes,
it's gonna take some time for that.
It's coming.
But the first triple double tomorrow. I kind of like the sound
I'm
of that.
telling you, he's
I kind of
on
like
a
the sound of
mission.
the first triple double tomorrow.
But by the way, easy for you. I gotta give him credit though. It's OG that really has elevated the
Yeah,
game.
well, no, it's
OG
always a team. Like
OG opened it up for
defense is a
him.
team. Defense is a team thing. If you have one weak, it's like a line in football. If you have
Right.
like one like weak part of your line is going to look like trash because they're just going to go through that one bad guy every single time,
Okay.
right?
That's
So
why when you keep saying that obscure defensive stat, oh, his defensive XYZ 1, 2, 3, he's number
because
one in the
Hartenstein's
universe.
been plays with defensive sieves everywhere he's gone. Like he played with Bol, man. Do you know how bad Bol is? Like, he has a negative 25 net rating when he played with the Nuggets. Like he played minutes with Bol and had a better net rating than Jokic. Like he played minutes with Luke Kennard, who was one of the worst defensive players in the NBA. Like he's one of the best shooters, but he can't play because he's one of the worst defensive.
I find it ironic
right?
that you love our backup center.
He's not a backup anymore. He's not a backup anymore. And every single day that goes by, he's destroying that label. Every single day.
I got you.
Every single day. So
I got
yeah.
you. I got you.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I can't wait to see what happens against the Embiid.
You can only pray he doesn't get in foul trouble now.
It's the probability that
against Embiid
really high is really
you could only pray unless you double him. That's the only way you're going to double him.
The probability of getting into foul trouble against Embiid is so high. The most likely outcome is he gets in foul trouble and I just ghost you. That's the most likely outcome. But hopefully that doesn't happen.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right, everybody. Well, thank y'all for rocking, man. I'm a big fan. Breezy is on with somebody. I got to go over and troll him about Cam Thomas. They bashed me one night.
Cam Thomas sucks, man.
Bro, I tell you, they told me he was a star. They argued me down, and then they basically pushed me out of the chat, bro. And then they basically ushered me out of. They like Uncle
over
Freeze,
Cam Thomas.
Yeah, they said they was like, yo, you ain't got to go home, but
you got to get.
Yeah, Brooklyn fans.
Yeah,
Brooklyn fans. Uncle Freeze, you ain't got to go home, but
How dare you talk about Cam Thomas? He gets bucket.
Yeah, I call Mikal Bridges a role player, bro. Oh my god.
Well, that's crazy. He's not a role player, but Cam Thomas is trash.
Nah,
he can't pass. You can't pass. He can't create for his teammates.
But you missed the thing is,
and he can't play.
I called him a role player, right? He's not a role player, not because of the role part, but because of the player part.
Okay, that's. I mean, it's true, but.
Dre, think about this. What if Emmanuel Quickly had the cachet of a team that Mikal Bridges had? What would you see?
Well, said it again. What was it like? Who had
What if Emmanuel Quickly was the face of the Brooklyn Nets as opposed to Mikal Bridges?
Emmanuel Quickly would average 25 points per game.
Him and Cam, bro, and think about all the wing players that they already have around Quickly.
Yeah, he would average 25 points per game.
I think that team.
He might average 25 points per game with the Raptors.
With the Raptors, I think he is.
I don't think he had it tonight, but I don't know if you're consistent.
Yeah, that trade wasn't for RJ Barrett. That trade was for.
But to get rid of RJ Barrett is a negative. I mean, it's a negative turns into positive. Addition by subtraction. Like it's.
Let me say this to you though. Let's not take the Emmanuel Quickly stat thing lightly, bro. He did play against Marcus Smart and John Morant tonight. Right.
I watched Freezy. I watched his highlights. There were like no one within 8 feet of him on like all 5 of his threes that he made, which made no sense to me. Like Marcus Smart is mailing it in at this point.
But here's the thing, Drake, because we've seen the same thing with Josh Hart. Did Emmanuel Quickly make those threes?
Yeah, he made it because he's a good shooter. Josh Hart is not a good shooter.
All right, that's what I'm saying. Let's just give him. I just want to give him credit. You know what I'm saying?
Josh Hart makes them when they matter. He makes them when they matter.
This is the thing where I was like, it matters if you contest them or not, because Quickly, besides RJ, Quickly has like the biggest drop off between contested shots and open shots. Like Quickly shoots like 45% on open threes, and when you contest them, it drops to like 21.
I don't know.
because of the way he shoots. I guess.
Right.
Like
right.
he's just not good with the pressure, at least just yet. But he's still growing. He's
Because
gonna
because
get better.
because he's got a
Undoubtedly.
push forward jumper. He
Yeah.
doesn't have an elevate shoot over your head jumper.
Right.
So when you close out to contest, him going forward on his shot, right? If it
Yeah.
was up here, it would be different. And I know that's basketball theory stuff, right? I know people will be like, well, you could sidestep and do. Nah, man. Nah. It's about the mechanics of it. Like a lot of wing players can shoot at a high level from 3 if they get time to get that shot off, right? But if they don't get that if they don't get time to get that shot off, either they miss or they don't shoot it, which limits their effectiveness.
You know who
So-
quickly reminds me of a lot? And this is a name. I think it's Derek White. Where if you look at the plus minus stats, like every single year of Derek White's career with the Spurs, it was positive. It was positive. Where the team was better when he was on the floor, and they were winning when he was on the floor. Same thing with Quickly.
And it doesn't
the
have
mo-
to
and the
coincide
moment
with them scoring.
and
They're good, just good on their
everyone
own.
thought Murray was better than Derek White, but Murray didn't have that. Murray, there were times where the team was better with him off the floor, right? And they went to different teams, and you would think that Murray was the all-star. He was the face, but now you look at it like you would rather have Derek White on your team if you want to win. Right.
And for that reason that he just said, that's the reason why I think the Knicks are going to go get Tyler Hero. Because if you know that, you can best believe an analytics department that gets paid for 40 hours a week knows the same thing.
Right. And that's why the Boston's doing pretty good with that. They're getting a lot of underrated players in that type of way. Right.
But you have to do it that way with the way the salary cap is set up. You have to be able to dumpster that. Well,
okay, but
dive,
I gotta go though because it's like late.
PCG.
I got to get out of here too because Big Fan.
Okay. Man, you guys just sucked me back into the conversation. It's so interesting.
Okay. No, that was all Hartenstein.
That was all Jokic's conversation.
No, yeah, sure.
Yeah, bro, he's all right. Don't down Jokic, bro.
You don't remember?
You know what I'm saying?
Like there was a time when that was a real take. Jokic that was an
actual.
I
thought you said you was going. You said you was leaving.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Right, he said he was leaving. Right,
you got me on Jokic. I'm literally I could talk about Jokic for years.
Right. So Jokic definitely is a top 75 center all time. Definitely. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about this on the Checkball podcast. Thank you everybody for watching. We've been rocking for like Dre. I was going to do like 2 hours and then my man showed up, bro.
Yeah, EG tends to do that.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for rocking. I'm gonna go over here and troll these guys for a few minutes and then get ready for the next morning drive. It's gonna be crazy.
I'm gonna tune in for a second.
All right, y'all.
All right, peace.
All right, peace, everybody.